Welcome to the ARC Pregame Show, presented by United Rentals.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to American River College. Welcome to American River College Beaver Stadium on the campus of American River College in lovely Sacramento, California. It's time for some ARC athletics. Today we have football from Beaver Stadium. The American River College Beavers at 1-0 hosting the Diablo Valley Vikings. They come in at 0-1. My name is Mark the Phantom Lowe. I'll be calling the play-by-play this afternoon for you. And with me, the writer emeritus. Is that what it is? Gold Country Media. He's been doing it for about 2 or 3 seasons now. Covers high school football, covers college football. Jordan Georgeson is with me again. Jordan, welcome back for year number 3. And, you know, we've been pretty successful. The first 2 years got to the finals of the NorCal Championship, and it seems like Coach John Osterhout is expecting more of the same this year.
Yeah, another great team here at American River. It's great to be back for another season, and you know, with programs like this, they don't rebuild, they just reload, and this seems to be the case again this year.
Absolutely. Talking to the coach the other day, and he said 24 of the players from last year's team have gone on to play at four-year schools, and it's not just smaller schools, it's the bigger schools. I mean, we talked about Robert Freeman, the electrifying Robert Freeman's at Utah State now. They just took on USC. It was Kai Wallen from Jesuit who played here at AR for Nebraska against Colorado, and Grayson Barnes, Kenny Leith, they go to Northern Illinois, who picked up a nice little win over Notre Dame last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we say it all the time. This roster is littered with Division I talent. And, you know, as college football changes and we have the NIL and transfer portal and all that stuff, feels like a lot of this high school talent isn't going straight to a 4-year out of high school. And a lot of them come here, and I don't think people realize that, you know, when you're watching this level of football, how good some of these guys are, and how 5 years ago a lot of these guys would be on, you know, Power 5 rosters right now.
Absolutely, and we talked to Coach Osterhout a lot about his program. He has guys come in a lot of times that they do what is called a gray shirt, which is they sit out a year and don't play and kind of, you know, grow physically and grow a little bit mentally too, maturity-wise. But he has a program where he's bringing people through, and we talk about the tight end position. He sent several tight ends to D1 schools, so the offensive line, the defensive line, or the American River College are going to have great offensive linemen, and this year no exception. A couple of returnees, Mason Baker being one of them, with a huge offensive line. You were telling me about that before the game.
Yeah, this offensive line is the strength of this team, and you know, when you have the backfield that American River typically does, when you have a bunch of big boys up front that don't mind paving the way, it makes it a lot easier. And now this year, in, you know, this level of football, having so many guys that have now a year of experience under their belt too, that's just going to go a long way for them, especially as this season goes on.
Now, Kenny Leith was the quarterback last year. He was one of those guys, a beneficiary of playing the year before. He split time the year before with Matt Carlisle, and he was the man last year and had a tremendous season. Jet Harris out of Dixon is our starting quarterback this year for the Beavers. He had a tremendous game last week as they won their opener against the College of Sequoias, but he's a guy who was in the program, waited his turn, and now he's the number one guy.
Yeah, and, you know, Harris is still listed on the roster as a freshman.
There you
so,
go.
you know, this is a situation where you're probably getting 2 years of him, and I think we're going to see a lot of Jet Harris in the way we saw kind of year one in those first couple games at Kenny Leith when you saw him getting acclimated to things. And, you know, there might be a few road bumps or speed bumps in the way, but you're also going to see a few flashes. And, I mean, from what we've seen from how Coach Osterhout develops this roster, I have no reason to believe that Harris isn't going to be another one of the great quarterbacks here at AR.
Yeah, and Kenny Leith with pretty much a pocket passer last year, and that's how Coach O describes Jet Harris as well, and he's got a couple of really nice targets. And we remember Amari Baker from last year. He excelled last year behind Robert Freeman as the number 2 receiver, and also the kid out of Oak Ridge, the freshman Jaden Anderson, who compiled 4 catches, 97 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the opener. Coach O very excited about this pair of wide receivers.
Yeah, and I mean, it feels like there's always been a great pair of wide receivers here, but, you know, Anderson catching 2 touchdowns, 97 yards on just 4 receptions. And then Baker had a touchdown as well, and he was the top receiver with 6 receptions. He had 96 yards, so I guess Anderson had him 1 yard there. And then you mentioned the tight ends. I mean, you know, Dylan Fear getting 2 receptions, 32 yards. Gavin Correa getting a reception. Joshua Furbach getting one. So, I mean, you know, there's so many different weapons that he has. And then, I mean, we've seen this backfield, you know, be able to reel in some passes too. There's so many different ways this offense can attack.
Yeah, last year we had what we call the Fab Four, and I think they added 1 or 2 at the end as far as the running backs. They had guys who dealt with every situation, short yardage, long yardage, you know, quick guys, strong guys. Elias Brown is the guy who's starting in the backfield this year, number 0, one of the captains for today's game. He is a sophomore, came out here and had a real nice game in week number 1.
Yeah, Elias Brown, the product out of Rockland High School. It's a great running back there at Rockland. Helped lead that team to an SFL championship in 2021. They were the first SFL team to beat Folsom, and now he's here at AR playing alongside with a lot of the guys probably on that Folsom team that he beat.
And you turn to the other side, and you and I have watched, like I said, for 2 years now, and it seems like the Beavers' defense is always ahead of the Beavers' offense, and that's no slight on the offense. It's just the defense is that good. A couple of guys, they've had to reload a little bit defensively, but Coach O very, very excited about a lot of guys on this year's defense.
Yeah, and one guy that really stands out to me is Malachi Red, a guy who kind of came on towards the end of last season, and he had 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss in last week's win. And then John Correa, another Rockland guy, was one of the top defensive linemen in the section last year, a kid that I covered a few times personally. And every time I saw him, I thought, how's this kid not have more offers yet? And I think it's just a product of what college football is now. But he's a kid that comes into a system like this, and I have no doubt that he's going to thrive.
I'll add another name for you, Diallo Washington, who was a defensive lineman last year, and Coach O made sure to tell me that he has changed back. He's a linebacker in this year's team, and he really is seeing some good things for him. And taking an overview, Jordan, the Beavers come off the win last week against College of Sequoia. They have a Diablo Valley today. Diablo Valley played Fresno last week. They lost their opener. Fresno won that one 37-13. The Beavers will take on Fresno right here next week. We'll be here at 1 o'clock next Saturday. And then the one after that I know is one that, and you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but we can do it a little bit more than the players can. I know you're looking to week number 4 when the Beavers are actually on the road.
Yeah, here's a fun stat for you guys. Last year, American River went 10-2. They were 10-0 against everyone and 0-2 against teams called San Mateo.
Oh,
and
I see.
Going
okay.
to College of San Mateo, they lost 23-24 in the regular season and then 27-30 in the NorCal State Championship game. So that's a game that AR has circled. But, hey, like you said, you got to get through this Diablo Valley team and then a very good Fresno team as well. So you can't be caught looking ahead. But, when you go 10-0 against schools that aren't named San Mateo and 0-2 against them by a combined 4 points, I am sure that they're going to be looking at that one going, hey, we want to go into San Mateo and get a win.
Captains for today, number 0 is Elias Brown. Number 2 is Amari Baker. Number 48, Trayvon Robinson. And Garrett Risley, number 91, as we get ready for the toss-ups. You can tell Jordan and I are very excited about this season. It's our 3rd season covering American River College football, and we are very, very excited about doing so. We're going to take a short break right now for some commercials and our Star Spangled Banner. When we come back, it'll be time for football from Beaver Stadium on the campus of American River College. Mark the Phantom Low, Jordan Georgeson for Stones Broadcast Networks.
Hi, I'm Monica from Ace Body Shop in Town. We are a family-oriented business. We've been in business for over 30 years. We are located downtown Lincoln at 333 Lincoln Boulevard in Lincoln, California. We do automotive repair and 24-hour towing. Our phone number is 916-645-2859, or you can find us on the web.
When it comes to your home's maintenance and repairs, Jeffers Resource Group has you covered. Our handyman services offer a comprehensive range of expertise, from minor carpentry to drywall, electrical and flooring for property managers, landlords, and renters alike. We ensure that every job is completed to the highest standards, so you can have peace of mind. Contact us today to discover how Jeffers Resource Group can help keep your home in top shape.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Placer County's best-kept secret is back for another exciting summer at historic McBean Stadiums. Loaded with fun for the whole family, local beer, wine, and eats. Fireworks, giveaways, theme nights, kids zone, and more. Come join in the fun and enjoy small-town baseball with Major League Entertainment. Tickets on sale now at LincolnPotters.com.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
When it comes to your home's maintenance and repairs, Jeffers Resource Group has you covered. Our handyman services offer a comprehensive range of expertise, so you can have peace of mind. Contact us to schedule your service today.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program.
Welcome to another American River College Athletics broadcast brought to you by Stones Radio Networks. Coming to you live from Beaver Stadium on the beautiful campus of American River College in Sacramento, California. It's almost time for Beavers football. Today's game is sponsored by United Rentals, Ace Body and Towing, the Lincoln Potters Baseball Club, Grateful Bread, Super Taco, and Taylor Builders. To get you ready for today's matchup, let's send it up to the booth, to the legend, Mark the Phantom Lowe, to bring you all of today's action. It's Beaver football, and it starts now.
Welcome back to Beaver Stadium for the opening of the home season for the American River College Beaver. I am Mark the Phantom Lowe. Jordan Georgeson to my right, ready to go. Stones McCoy is lurking around. He's kind of producing the broadcast. Of course, Riley, the engineer, is actually doing all the work over there, Jordan. And we're about ready to get going here. We've had the toss of the coin. It's a beautiful day for football. Diablo bringing some fans, putting them over on the other side. And we've got a lot of umbrellas out here as the stands begin to fill up on the home side as well. And again, looking forward to another great season of American River College football. The Beavers come out at 1-0. It looks like Diablo Valley will kick off to start this one. And the Beavers be on the receiving end. Looks like number 5. That's TQ Wallace going back. He will be back there with number 2, Amari Baker, to return the kick coming from Diablo Valley. Michael Vaccaro, number 42, is their usual kicker, so he will be putting the right foot to this one to get us started here. Beavers going from left to right here at Beaver Stadium, wearing the home dark colors. They've got blue, red, and white. Diablo Valley, white, and I say green numbers. Jordan says black numbers. I think it's okay to disagree. There's probably both colors in there somewhere, Jordan. So I know it's the first disagreement of the season, and it comes early. And it may be a harbinger of things to come. I don't know.
We'll be the first of many.
That's the first of many. Vaccaro will tee it up at the 35, and we're just about ready to get going here. Beavers 1-0. Diablo Valley 0-1. They dropped their opener to Fresno, 37-13. Fresno, the next opponent for the Beavers, but they turn their attention to the Vikings from Diablo Valley right now. As Vaccaro is going to put the left foot to the ball. He changed up on me. Deep kick down to about the 2-yard line. It's Baker on the 2, comes up to 10, 15, 20, gets up to the 25. He's tripped up and down at about the 30-yard line. Got a Diablo Valley player down on the field, and we'll start it off to make that the 25-yard line, and the Beavers will start off 1st and 10.
Yeah, and the special teams for American River last season was huge for them. We saw them set them up in good field position so many times, and hey, right there, taking out of the end zone and getting yourself 25 yards down the field. Not
a great sign there. Amari Baker, number 2, comes out. He was tripped up, and he came out limping a little bit. He's the starting wide receiver, so he is on the sidelines right now as Jed Harris takes the Beavers out to start their first offensive possession. TQ Wallace is behind him. Harris in the shotgun with the single running back. Whistles are going to blow as we're going to have a timeout, it looks like, for American River College. And Jordan, a timeout because of a malfunction? Maybe they're giving Baker a chance to shake off that injury. What do you think?
I think it might have been a little more of a malfunction right there. And, call these, I don't want to say first game jitters because second game of the year, home opener jitters, if you will. These teams are still a lot of these guys are still getting to know each other and getting familiar with these packages out there.
Looks like Demarion Williams is split out to the right. Number 18, so he is filling in for Baker. And now both teams are going to go over to the sidelines. We're going to have what we call the extended timeout. 6 seconds into the home season, we've already got confusion, Jordan.
Well, and I've said it. I mean, 6 seconds in, these teams need a breather right now. I mean, this is an exhausting game. Right,
It's hot out
86
here.
degrees. That's a Sacramento winter.
Absolutely. Amari Baker took the opening kickoff, was tripped up at the 25, limped off the field. We'll check down on him. Looks like he is stretching out down here to our left, and he's going back and forth. Looks like he's going to be moving around okay, and Jet Harris will be back out, and we'll start it again with Demarion Williams out to the right. Jaden Anderson will be to the left, number 7, and he is in motion as Harris turns, gives it to Wallace around the left side. He's found an opening, cuts back at the 35 to the 40, and he's dragged down at the 40-yard line. Again, a 15 and a Beaver first down.
Quite the run from Wallace to start that. He had a lot of space right away, and that's a credit to this AR offensive line like we talked about in the pregame. A lot of returning stars there and a lot of size on that line.
Wallace only 5'8", 165 out of Franklin with a nice run to the left side here. First down at the 40 for the Beavers. Harris has Wallace behind him again in the shotgun, standing at the 35. He'll turn. He'll hand it off to Wallace again, tries to cut that one back, and he's met by a horde of tacklers for Diablo Valley. It looked like number 45 was in there on that tackle.
Yeah, it looks like that was KJ Sweeney, the sophomore linebacker out of Dublin High School. 6'1", 255, so a big boy there, and he just swallowed him up. I mean, Wallace tried to make a cut like he did on that first run, just didn't have any room to cut to.
Got a couple of guys helping him as well. Gain of 1. Anderson splits out to the right side now, and we have 2 out to the right side for the Beavers. Harris in the shotgun with Wallace behind him. He's going to go back. He's going to look for Anderson on a slant. He's got it. Throws it behind him, though, and it's off Anderson's hands, incomplete. It'll set up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it looks like that play right there was quick to develop for Anderson, but the Vikings read that pretty well, and it looked like a couple guys kind of jumped in on that one, jumped it. Kind of almost was a scary play. That could have been a pick, and there was nothing but green in front of him.
Baker comes into the game. That's a good sign. Also, Luis Torres, number 13, a wide receiver out of Dixon, comes on as it is 3rd and 9 at the 41-yard line. Just getting started here. First quarter, Beavers and the Vikings. Vikings show some pressure up the middle. Harris surveys the scene. He's got pressure coming up the middle. He looks to his right. He's hit while he's trying to throw it. His ball is loose and covered by the Vikings at the 30-yard line, and they will get possession. I believe, again, number 45, Sweeney, was the guy who fell on it. Good pressure from the left side, Jordan, and hitting Jet Harris before he could let the ball go.
And that was Rourke Hoban that forced the fumble there, just hits him on the blind side, and not the start you want if you're the Beavers and if you're the Vikings. Hey, that's how you make a statement on the road and take that home crowd out of it.
Absolutely, and they showed the pressure, like I said. They showed the pressure up the middle. Looks like the Beavers picked it up the middle, but they came from that side and came in and hit it in the backside on the blind side on Jet Harris. Here comes Teddy Boris, number 9, the quarterback out of California High School. Threw for 233 yards, maybe got 219 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. And he is in the shotgun. He's going to hand that one off to the running back running to the right side. That is number 10, Ferrari Miller, the freshman from McClymonds High in Oakland. He's going to get about maybe a yard out of that one. He was 15 carries. He ran for 61 yards last week.
Yeah, Ferrari Miller, one of the best running back names I think we've heard.
Yes,
in this.
That's really good.
And like you said, he was the team's leading rusher last week. He had 61 yards and 15 carries, so he's kind of the bell cow of this offense if they have one.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Ball on the 28-yard line. Boris with Miller behind him. He's got wide receivers to the left. He's going to fake it and hit the slant, but it's overthrown and almost intercepted by the Beavers. Number 33, that was Diallo Washington. We mentioned him in the pregame, and the ball, he didn't really do anything, Jordan. The ball just almost came to him.
Yeah, it really almost came to him, and that would have been a huge play for the Beavers. And again, right there, that was nothing but green numbers, so they're going to be kicking themselves. And now we have a new leader of the team in almost interceptions. This year.
I think maybe Teddy Boris threw that one a little bit too hard for his wide receiver, trying to the slant play, which is basically what the Beavers tried to do with Anderson. So it's 3rd and 8. Boris back to pass. He's got time. Here comes pressure from the right side. Hits the guy on the flat, breaks one tackle, and gets right about to the 20-yard line. And he hit his wide running back, Ferrari Miller, and he's dragged to the 20. It looks like it will be enough for a first down for the Vikings.
And, that's kind of been the bread and butter of the Vikings this year. They were 6 of 14 on third down, so almost around 50%. And 12 of their 19 first downs last game were passing first downs. So, they find a way to move those chains through the air on third down.
Beavers put pressure on Boris, but just got there a little bit too late. Miller was able to scoot out into the flat and make the play. Shotgun formation for the Vikings on 1st and 10 from the 20. Turnaround handoff right away to the left side, going left side. Dragged down and a good gain of about 5 yards in there, and it'll set up a 2nd and 5. So the Vikings, with a good play on first down, gives themselves some options here in 2nd down.
And I know that was Brevin Amigo was one of the Beavers that was in on that tackle, and that was a play that the hole opened up, and it looked like it was going to go for a lot bigger. So kudos to the Beavers for swarming to that ball as quickly as they did.
Ferrari Miller with the gain again, 5 yards. So he's been instrumental in this first drive for the Vikings, which was precipitated by a fumble recovery by the Viking defense. 2nd and 5, ball on the 15-yard line. There's a handoff again to Miller, but that time good penetration by the Beavers front four. And let's see if we can give credit. I think that's 91, Garrett Risley, one of the co-captains who was in there, one of the Beavers, to make the play.
Yeah, he really set the edge there, and then just he made that first contact and let the rest of the D-line swallow it up, and I think that's something we're going to see a lot of from this Beaver defensive line this season.
Number 90, Diego Villarreal, is coming in the game to take on the front line with Risley. 94 is Guy Fortson, also in there defensively. 3rd down, about 8 yards to go here for the Diablo Valley Vikings. Under 11 minutes to go first quarter. We got motion for the Vikings. Boris comes back. He is under pressure. He is hit. The throw is going to be harmlessly hitting the ground at about the 15-yard line. And, Jordan, we were waiting for it, and there was the pressure from the Beavers.
Yeah, and that was Diallo Washington there providing, kind of leading the charge on that pressure. That looked like a screen pass that ARC just gave zero time to develop.
Yeah, I think it looked like maybe the defense for the Beavers said, I'm going to put my foot down this time. We're going to go after this guy, and we're going to make him get rid of the ball, and that's just what they did. So here is the kicker, Michael Vaccaro, who did not attempt a field goal last week. He's from the 25, makes this a 35-yard boot. Is Boris with the hold, so that's the quarterback holding. You always want to be aware of that. Vaccaro strikes it. He strikes it clean, and that looks like no good. It's off to the right. So it looked like a good clean hit there, but just off to the right. And the Beavers kind of dodged a bullet right there, Jordan.
Yeah, dodged a bullet. And you want to know what? All the momentum that you lost when you fumbled that ball, that just went right back to your sideline and then some, because they started that drive in scoring position, and you left with a goose egg on that. That's a win for the Beavers.
And a couple of names we mentioned, I think, like we said, the Vikings moved the ball a little bit, and then all of a sudden Risley and Washington said, okay, wait a minute, guys. It's sophomore time for the sophomores to take over. They made a couple of plays, and the Beavers eventually end up with the ball at the 20-yard line. And they'll try to do something a little bit more impressive than they did last time as Jet Harris comes back out. He has DQ Wallace behind him, Anderson to the left, and Baker is back in the game. He is to the right. Wallace started us off with a 15-yard carry. The first time he's trying to cut open the middle. That's a nice play in there by number 1. Saphir Stills Bay with a nice tackle. A gain of about 3 or 4 yards, but that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and Wallace kind of, did a good job, I think, shifting around a little bit, getting some defenders uneasy, turning that into at least a positive gain, because that looked like that could have been stuff for a loss.
Little surprised we haven't seen Elias Brown yet. I'm not aware that he had any injury problem. He's one of the captains, and he was the big runner last week, but it's been Wallace so far for the Beavers. Harris now in the shotgun. 2nd down, about 7 yards to go on the 23-yard line. He's going to go back to pass. He's going to look to. He's got a guy open slanting in, but it's down low for Jaden Anderson, incomplete. And so far, a little bit off track on the connections offensively and the passing game for the Beavers, Jordan.
Yeah, and this is something that's going to happen when you're working in a new quarterback. A lot of new faces here. You're going to have some growing pains, and some of these guys are going to take a little bit to get some chemistry together, especially when they're going at game speed.
A couple of slants he's thrown and haven't been on target. Now, I think it was a tight end going down the seam that nobody seemed to be paying attention to, so we may see that play again at some point later in the game. But it's 3rd down now and 7, and Harris in the shotgun out of Dixon High School. He's going to go back. He's got time. He looks to his left. He lets it fly for Anderson. It's over his head. We're going to have a flag on the play. Might have been a grab by the defensive back or maybe a push-off by Anderson.
I think it could have been a grab by the D-back because, Anderson certainly thinks so, but I don't think he's going to be saying, hey, that was on me.
No, I don't think so either.
With where he put that ball, it kind of looked like he put it where he thought Anderson was going to be, and maybe a DB grabbed him and forced it so Anderson wasn't going to be where Harris wanted him to be.
We're going to have a defensive holding call. And that's going to give a first down to the Beavers at the 32-yard line. So I think the hold on the defensive back on that one, Jordan, and it's going to give the Beavers. And that pass really didn't look like it was on target anyway, so the Beavers got a little bit of a break there.
And that hold was on Jeffrey Holden, so Holden is Holden.
There you go. That's Jordan Georgeson, everybody. First and 10, 32-yard line for the Beavers, their own 32. Vikings look like they might want to put a pressure on there. Here comes in motion the tight end. He sets on the right side. Hand off to Wallace, trying to go behind that tight end. Fought off in a nice play by the Vikings. Give credit. First of all, with the tackle was Stills Bay again on the tackle, but want to give credit to the guy who really took on the defense and fought him off, and that was number 11, Wesley Garden, out of San Marin. He did an excellent job, Jordan, of stripping that blocker.
Yeah, and again, another good job by the Vikings setting the edge. And TQ Wallace, he's shown some shiftiness and a good little stiff arm to get back to the line there, but Vikings are doing a good job making it hard for him to get anything going.
Williams out to the right side for the Beavers. Wallace behind Harris. Williams will go in motion reset. They're going to hand off to Wallace again. He's got to the 25. He's fighting up. He's close to the 40-yard line. It's going to be marked just short of the 40, but that'll leave 3 yards to go here on third down.
That was Wesley Garton on the tackle there. And, that was kind of the first time we saw Wallace go in there, and instead of kind of using his shiftiness, he just put his head down and went straight forward.
Yeah, he got some good blocking up front from the Beavers' big front line. Anderson and Baker in for the wide receivers on third down. About an honest 3 yards to go here for the Beavers. Wallace behind Harris. Got two out to the left. Going to look to the right. They got a post play and a nice button hook right there, and that is a catch. And I don't know if he's going to be given the yards here. That's number 80 on the catch. That is Gavin Correa.
It looks like we're
going to have another flag on the play.
And I'm wondering if they're going to get pass interference on this too, because Correa was fighting through some DVC defenders that were hitting him a little early there.
Well, he had a nice little, he came out running toward us and then turned around and faced his quarterback. It was a really nice throw by Harris because he had a small window to get it in there. And whether it's the catch, they're going to mark the ball at the 45, and the Beavers will have a first down right there. So kind of a start and stop and drive, but a drive nonetheless, Jordan, and nice to do something after that first drive ended in the fumble.
Yeah, it's huge to get that third down conversion. Last week the Beavers were 4 of 11 on third down, so you want to start setting the tone and keep these drive going on third down rather than getting off the field.
Exactly, and that's your point of a new team kind of working together probably, as Harris is in the shotgun. Turns his fakes, and there's a slant. He's got the guy now that is number 2, Amari Baker, but it's a little bit far ahead of him, and he had to leave his feet to get it, and he's down right around the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and still a nice job again. Hey, we're getting the ball a little more on target, and this is the type of thing that we might be looking back on in October going, hey, remember when he was missing guys, and now all of a sudden he's hitting everyone?
Absolutely, and when you run the slants and they're working, then all of a sudden that opens up a lot more stuff because you got people thinking inside. It's going to be second down and about 4 yards to go, so give Baker 6 yards on that catch. Amari last week, 6 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Strong right formation for the Beavers. They're going to hand it to the right side. Coming out here's Wallace. He's got a little room. He's going to get to the 45-yard line. That's marked at the 44 of the Vikings, and that's enough to give the Beavers another first down.
And it looked like Rourke Hoban might have gotten him in the backfield, and I think that's that speed of Wallace right there. 5'8", 165, he can move quick, and he just outran him to the corner and turned that into a nice gain.
Yeah, Wallace has been impressive early on. He's got all the carries for the Beavers so far. Baker and Anderson have been the target of some passes, also the tight end. So Beavers kind of spreading it around, and again, just kind of a methodical drive down the field, which they've converted 2 third downs. Baker to the right, Anderson to the left. He's going to fake that one. He's going to look down the middle, then go across to Baker, and Baker can't make the play.
And that was another one right there of, the chemistry's just a little off. I think Harris also felt a little bit of that pressure with the pocket collapsing around him. And, Baker still almost made a great play for them.
What I liked about that one is Harris kind of did a little look off. He wasn't really looking at Baker a lot, and he had to drop it over a defender, which he did. It was just a little bit too low for Baker to pick up, but a little promise in that route, and give credit to the offensive line for giving Jet Harris time to kind of survey the field and pick out the guy he wanted to go to. But bottom line, second down, 10 yards to go on the 44 of the Vikings. 7:06 to go, first quarter here. Here's a handoff. We got a flag immediately, and Wallace has the ball, and he is down after a gain of maybe 1 yard as the Vikings got tough. And let's see what the flag is. And the Beavers could be trying this play again, although they didn't get much on it. So we'll wait for the call. Flag went up immediately, and we're going to have a false start. And he kind of went a long time with that false start, with that signal, don't you think, Jordan? Maybe a little bit, a beat or two too long, kind of like rubbing it in.
Yeah, I think three rotations. I think is the amount.
I'm gonna have to look at the referee. So they're gonna.
Looks like 31 in it running back.
Looks like he may not have taken the penalty though, because the ball is going to be spotted at the 42. So they're not going to take the penalty. So that's going to make it third down and about 8 yards to go on the 42-yard line. Got to get inside the 35. So third down, 7 minutes to go in this one. Harris with the running back next to him. He's got three out to the left side, a single receiver to the right. Vikings showing some pressure. They bring it. A slant in there, and that was all over the receiver, but no flag. And there is the flag coming in from the MAC judge, as they were all over the receiver on that one, Jordan. Not a surprise on that one.
Yeah, that was Wesley Garton who got a piggyback right there from the receiver. And how about that block there by Hakeem Anderson, though, picking up the edge rusher and giving Harris time to get that throw off?
Yeah, it was a situation where you're just looking at it with the naked eye and you go, wait, they're going to be able to get – they got more guys than we have to block him. And then you got a guy like Anderson coming up with a big block, giving a chance to let it go, and then we get the penalty on the Vikings.
And hey, one way or another, you keep the chains moving.
Yeah, and one of the chain guys moved one way, and the other chain guy moved the other way. So they are also, it's the first game for them too.
You would think there is something like a chain, though, that would stop that from happening, right?
I think there's too much play in that chain. First down, 35-yard line, 6:46 to go, first quarter. No score here, Beavers and the Vikings. Beavers with receivers spread left and right. Cook out to the right side, and not looking is Demarion Williams, who gave kind of an out and up, and it looked like, as you said, Jordan, we're kind of still doing the early seats and stuff, because it looked like he was expecting a different pass than he got.
Yeah, and Harris looked his way immediately and threw it to him. It looked like he was expecting maybe a comeback route, so I don't know if Harris thought it was the wrong route or if Williams ran the wrong route, but again, clearly a disconnect there.
So Demarion Williams, the intended receiver out of Antelope, a freshman, and he is still on the field with Jaden Anderson to the left. Amari Baker, remember, was momentarily injured on the opening kickoff. He has been back in the game a couple times. He's not in right now. And TQ Wallace has been the running back so far for the Beavers. Anderson is running reset on the left side. They're going to hand it off to Wallace, and he was not where the quarterback thought he was. He reverses field. He's got one guy to get around. He might get a big play here, 25, and he might get him a first down on a play, Jordan, that didn't look good when it started.
No, I can't imagine that's how they drew that one up, but kudos to Wallace again, beating his guy to the edge and, getting out the outside and turning nothing into something.
Nick Ekaterinas has entered the game, number 19, a wide receiver out of Oak Ridge, a sophomore. He comes on for Anderson. Baker is back in there, and he'll go out to the left side. Harris turned around to hand it off to Wallace, and Wallace wasn't there. So that is, rather than panic, he just kind of ran up and caught up with him, and Wallace turned reverse field. Looks like one of the Beavers might have got an early start there as Wallace takes a carry up over the 15 down to the 13. Let's see if they got away the left guard or left tackle. It looked like he got let's just call it a good jump off the ball and a good run by Wallace.
Yeah, good run by Wallace, who's starting to kind of find his zone now. Last week he had 8 carries for 28 yards, and he's probably passed out on both carries and yards at this point this week.
Wallace is off the field now, number 31. That is Hakeem Anderson is in as the running back for the Beavers. 2nd and 3. He's going to fake the handoff, roll back. He's got an open receiver, number 85. He's got it at the 5. He rolls up, and he's going to be out at about the 1 yard line. That is Dylan Fear, the freshman out of Lincoln, and a great job by Harris to fake the handoff. He rolled to his right. Fear all alone on the right flat.
Yeah, great play design there. And, I mean, Fear had some blockers. That's one of those plays that I wouldn't be shocked if we're going to see the Beavers go back to as this game goes on.
And we see our first Elias Brown signing as number 0. The co-captain is in there now. As Harris, a little consultation with the coaches before starting this first and goal, just on the 1-yard line. Brown last week, 15 carries, 106 yards and a touchdown. He has not been in yet. He's in there. I think Hakeem Anderson is also still in. The tight formation for the Beavers. You don't want to jump if you're a Beaver lineman. They're going to hand it off to Brown. He's hit from 2 different directions, tries to stay up, but give credit in there to number 20, it looks like, on Diablo Valley. That is Charles Cox, who was one of about 3 guys, Jordan, who stopped Brown in his tracks.
Yeah, and it looks like they just came from the outside, and, those blockers were going up front. They hit Brown from the side. Good job by him to try to fight for those extra yards, but just not enough room to go, and, the field gets small when you're down here.
Might have lost a yard, so it'll be second and goal. There goes up the middle. Harris, he is pushed, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So the Beavers cracked the end zone on the home season. It's Jet Harris with a 1-yard run, and the Beavers are up 6-0.
Yeah, a little tush-push action right there, and, gets Beavers into the end zone. Just hard-nosed football, kind of the style we've seen from American River a lot over these years.
Absolutely. They tried Brown. They didn't get Brown, and then they said, let's go ahead and try Jet Harris, and they got it. And so let's see. That is number 41. That's Cameron Smith. Smith was 5 for 5 on PATs last week. He comes through, and that is good. So the Beavers put 7 up on the board here with 4:30 to go. First quarter, Beavers lead this one 7-0.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We love to see you.
Pass flung on and missed. He got him on strikes at 86, the off-speeder. Bruno strikes out the... He's going to look that way. Now he's going to duck down the middle. He's got a guy wide open at the 18 kid. That's Robert Freeman. And Robert's trying to make a couple of moves. He comes back to the 15. Welcome back to Beaver Stadium. Beavers atop 7-0. 4.5 minutes to go here. First quarter. Beavers will kick it off from our left side there. Cameron Smith on the kickoff. He's got Mari Taylor, number 24. Sean Davis, number 28 for the Vikings, back to receive. So the Beavers put it on the carpet the first time they had it. Man, a nice defensive stand to deny the Vikings, and then had a kind of a methodical drive right there. Came all the way down. Harris with the 1-yard run to get the touchdown. Wallace probably the hero of the drive for the Beavers, as they used the ground game and the passing game, and a couple of penalties as well. So here's Smith. There's a short kick. It's going to go out of bounds, it looks like, at the 15, so that'll be a penalty on the Beavers. Smith is a freshman out of Del Oro High School, and advantageous position for the Vikings. And Jordan, the Vikings had a real good chance at putting some up on the board early, and they were denied. So what are they going to try to do when they come out this time?
I think if you're the Vikings, you try to do the same thing you were doing. The Beavers were able to get in the backfield a little bit, but those short passes seem to have been working. It felt like when they tried to get those bigger plays, it felt like kind of the pocket collapsed a little more. So maybe try to attack short and see if you can move the ball again. But I think getting points here is huge after you have the door slammed on you, and then they go down and take the lead after that.
Ball will be on the 35 after the penalty. Teddy Boros, the quarterback. He's going to turn and hand it out right up the middle to number 10, Ferrari Miller, and he is tackled by most of the Beavers roster.
Yeah, it looked like the Beavers got in there early. Malachi Red, I think, was the one that kind of led the charge there. The sophomore D lineman out of Monterey Trail, a name that we talked about in the pregame, a guy that really kind of burst on the scene a little bit last year.
Ferrari Miller, 5'10", 200, but he was outweighed by a considerable amount there, and he will be held for no gain. It'll be second down and 10 yards to go. Teddy Burris, the quarterback out of California High School, threw for 219 and 2 scores last week against Fresno, and he's got a 2nd and 10, and he's going to run it himself. He looked to pitch it, but he is under pressure, and he's going to be dropped for about a 4-yard loss for the left side, I would say, of the Beavers defensive line.
That was the freshman D lineman Gavin Malloy there. Good job on not biting on the option. And then when Boris tried to juke him out, he just, had him swarmed up and swallowed him up right there.
Yeah, and he set him up. Even if he's not going to get him, he had 2 or 3 guys coming after him who were going to get him. So we've got timeout on the field. It looked like Boris was trying to do the, sideline warnings. He was trying to get off balance so he could flip it to his running back cutting up the middle. But as you say, Malloy was he cut down all the possibilities there and made Teddy try to juke him out. And that just was not happening as Malloy had help coming behind him. It'll be 3rd down now. And about 14, make that 13 yards to go. They've got to get to the 45-yard line. Boris is in the shotgun. He's got 2 right, he's got 2 left, and we're going to have a flag right away. And it's going to be, I think, a delay of game call. Let's see. It is a delay of game on Diablo Valley, so that'll put them in a bigger hole. During 3rd and 19, and we haven't seen them try a play so far. We haven't seen them call a play that's had to get this much yardage.
No, and, I know they had kind of one big chunk play, but felt like it was, not a big play that kind of developed. It's going to be interesting to see if they just kind of go for the punt and field position or if they take a stab downfield here.
We've seen them do a couple of slants. We have 2 out to the left. We have 2 out to the right. Let's see if the Beavers can put pressure on Boris. No, he's going to just hand it off to Ferrari Miller. No, he faked the handoff and went down himself. So great job covering that by the Beavers defensive line. And I know they don't have the ball, but this might have been the Beavers' best drive of the day.
Yeah, and that was John Correa, the freshman D lineman, true freshman out of Rockland High School, that had the play there, and now, Beavers are forcing a punt and, can be getting the ball in favorable field position here.
Yeah, minus 10 on that drive for the Vikings. Looks like Isaiah Bickham is back to receive the punt. Just barely got it out, a good-looking punt. Bickham will get it on the 34-yard line. He's going to go left, and he falls down at about the 35. So good punt in that case. That's Jacob Johnson, the punter for Diablo Valley. He hits it for about a 35-yard punt and a 1-yard return for the Beavers. So with 2:03 to go in the first quarter, they're going to come out. And, Jordan, you expect to see more of the same?
I expect to see a little more, especially, towards the end of that drive, it looked like Harris got a little more comfortable, started hitting his guys. I don't know if maybe he got a little more confidence or just their connection got better. We're going to see a little more of Elias Brown. I think this Beaver offense starting to get in its flow a little bit.
I want to give some shout-outs. We've got Blaitler, Lynch, Killicooly, and Gilbert on the line with for the Beavers, the offensive line. We look to be establish themselves a little bit more there in that last drive. Got 2 out to the right for Harris. He's going to turn. He's going to fake the handoff. He's got a guy across the middle, good, to the 42, to the 43-yard line. That is number 80, Gavin Correa, and that has been a play they've used a couple of times to fake to the running back and peel that tight end across, and he's been open.
That is, and that's another true freshman there, Gavin Correa. And, hey, you wonder why the Beavers keep sending these tight ends to Division I schools. They're getting a lot of targets here. They are.
And Coach O really likes to use his tight ends. He really features them, which is a nice way to get good tight ends to come to your school. So it's a first down. Actually, call it second down and 2 yards to go. A gain of about 8 yards on that one. Fake the handoff again. He's got Argentine. He gets outside. He's found a guy at the 48 and dropped by the Beavers. That's Dylan Fear, who was open at about the 45. The ball delivered well by Harris, but Fear drops it, brings up a 3rd down.
Yeah, and a good job by Harris there. Not panic under pressure, get that ball off. And I know Fear's going to want that one back, but, another guy that's starting to kind of mix in that Coach O is high on, a guy that, I'm sure he's going to pick him up and he's going to have a chance to redeem himself in this one.
Wesley Garden, which is a name we've said a couple of times, is the freshman linebacker that was putting pressure on Harris, and Jet got around him, but Garden made him throw maybe before he wanted to. Fear was open in the flats. Bring up a 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Running back to the right of Jet Harris. And he is going to he's going to call a timeout. So Jordan, a timeout with 1:20 to go, first quarter. The Beavers leading 7-0. So far, surprised by anything you've seen the Beavers offense try to do?
Not necessarily. I think the biggest surprise to me has been, kind of moving towards TQ Wallace a little more than Elias Brown. I know we're seeing Brown mix in. We've seen Coach O platoon quarterbacks. We've seen him kind of have running backs almost carry the load for a quarter or for one or two drives in a row. And, a lot of these early season games, especially with a team like AR, a lot of it is kind of mixing guys in, mixing in new packages and finding out what works. So, but this game, they're doing kind of what I expected to. You see the growing pains, but you also see the flashes.
Yeah, you have one scrimmage in community college football, and that's basically all you have as far as the preseason is concerned. So you're hitting the ground running. They had the game last week against Sequoia, which is it's a trip down to Visalia, and the coach said it was 11 o'clock start, but it's still over 100 degrees, so it was a really tough game, a tough outing. So a lot of guys getting a lot of reps, and now it looks like Brown is in the lineup here to the right of Jet Harris as we're in this 3rd down and 2 situation. Ball at the 43-yard line. Hand up the middle. He got a little bit of room, and that is Brown, and he's going to get the first down. His second carry of the day, a little bit more successful than the first one.
And that's where you turn to a guy like Elias Brown, 6 foot, 232, kind of a bowling ball in there, if you will. And we've seen him get shifted. We've seen him turn on the jets. But, hey, power running is what he does best, and he did it right there.
So it brings up a first down. Ball's at the 48-yard line for the Beavers. Beavers are mixing in all kinds of different wide receivers, all kinds of different tight ends. Baker and Anderson on the field as the wideouts this time. Looks like Correa is split out to the left in the slot as Harris has the running back to his left. Baker in motion right to left. Going to look left. He's under pressure. The throw is out there, but there's nobody there. I don't know if they didn't get the release or kind of crossed the wrong way for Anderson, but the ball was thrown out, and he was in the middle of the field. And give credit to the pressure for the Vikings on that one.
And I think some of that, too, might have been Harris kind of just getting rid of it, throwing it in the vicinity of a receiver, but where no one could catch it, because it looked like a play that just didn't get a chance to develop.
Right. I think it was looking over to the left. He was overloaded to the left side, and it didn't seem like whatever was supposed to happen on the left side happened. With 34 seconds to go here in the first quarter, Beavers on top 7-0, and they'll face a 2nd and 10 from their own 48. One split way out to the left. Baker's going to reset. He'll stay right. Handoff is up the middle to Brown, and he is across the 50, and he will get to the 49-yard line. And as we count down 25 seconds to go here in the third quarter, it's going to set up a 3rd and about 6 or 7 for the Beavers. See if they get the play off in the next 15 seconds, and it looks like they are trying to do that as they look to the sidelines. And now it doesn't seem like there's any urgency, Jordan, so I think we're going to count this down to the end of the first quarter. Beavers will say, let's talk about this 3rd down play. We don't need a timeout. We've got a quarter change.
Yeah, I think that's a smart way to go, especially, with this kind of 3rd and, we'll say, long-ish at midfield. There's a lot you could do. There's a position where, hey, maybe you try to get this yard in 2 different plays at a time. Maybe you try to get it all at once, because you're kind of in a position, especially with how your defense has played so far, that I think you would consider going forward if you don't get it on this 3rd down.
Let's go ahead and take a short break here. Go back to the studio. Our score at the end of one quarter, America.
Hi, I'm Monica from Ace Body Shop in Telling. We are a family-oriented business. We've been in business for over 30 years. We are located downtown Lincoln at 333 Lincoln Boulevard in Lincoln, California. We do automotive repair and 24-hour towing. Our phone number is 916-645-2859, or you can find us on the web.
Back to Beaver Stadium on the campus of American River College. The Beavers atop the Diablo College Vikings, 7-0. Mark the Phantom Low here with Jordan Georgeson. The Beavers facing a 3rd down at midfield. They need to get to about the 42, so let's call it 3rd and 8. They're moving from our right to our left there as Harris, the quarterback. He's got 2 out to the left side. He's looking right. Now he looks back to the middle. He's got time. He's got a guy down the left side. That's Baker. And it gets down. It was a catch made. No, the catch was not made. It was the overthrown Baker, and Jaden Anderson was the receiver, but he couldn't go down and make the catch, and it'll be 4th down.
That was Jeffrey Holden that broke that one up, and I think you're right, Phantom. I think that ball was actually intended for Baker, and just happened that on the overthrow, Anderson was right there, and he almost made a great play.
It seems like maybe with 2 wide receivers in the same spot, that wasn't the most well-constructed route, we want to say. But it's going to be a punt for the Beavers. Looks like number 89, Landon Richardson, will do the punting for AR. 5 punts for 197 yards, so about a 39.5-yard average last week for Richardson. He's got down at the 10-yard line. He's going to pooch that one a little bit off the right side of his foot. It's going to land right around the 16-yard line. Let's see if it went out of bounds before that. No, it's going to be marked right around the 16-yard line. Make that the 17, and that's where the Vikings, make that the 27, excuse me. That's where the Vikings will start their drive.
Yeah, and that was just kind of, I think, a little bit of a shank right there. But again, you know, the way your defense has been playing, I think if you're AR, you're not overly worried about it. You know, the Vikings, the few times they move the ball, it's kind of been on 1 or 2 big chunk plays, but the Beavers have had their way defensively so far.
Right, but if you're on the 50-yard line and you got a guy who averaged 39 yards to punt, you want to try to get that thing inside the 20. I mean, you're working on everything this early in the season, but that's what you want to do. Teddy Boris is the quarterback for the Vikings. He's got a running back to his right and 2 wide receivers out to the right. Hands it off to Ferrari Miller versus field. He gets to the 28, to the 29, gets to the 30, and that's a nice tackle in the backfield by the Beavers.
Yeah, and it looks like that was Diallo Washington that kind of finally brought him down, but looked like that was coming up from the safety position. I believe that was Brevin Amiga.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, not Brevin Amiga.
That's
Jared Quenga.
Jared Quenga, yeah, it made a nice play. It got it out of his hands, but then brought down, as you said, by Washington. 2nd down, let's give him a gain of about 2, so we'll call it 8 yards to go for the Vikings. Boris with a high snap. He's under pressure, trying to get out of there, but he is going to be sacked at the 24 by the Beavers. And look like that's Garrett Risley, number 91.
Yeah, Risley, again, a guy that we're calling his name. He just came off the edge right there, right away. The Jesuit product, making himself known. 6'3", 252, a big boy out there.
Ken Tilford, the defensive back, was man-on-man with the receiver here on this near side, and that's where Boris looked like he wanted to throw the ball, so credit to the defensive back for not allowing the quarterback to have an open passing lane. And then Risley did the rest, set us up a 3rd down. It's going to be about 12 yards to go. Ball on the 24. Beavers jump, get back. Boris back, he's looking left. He's got a guy coming back against the grain. It's a complete, but there's 2 or 3 Beavers right there to make the play. Looks like number 95, that's Malachi Red, who made a fine play out there for the Beavers.
Yeah, I believe that was Miles Dixon on the reception there, and then Malachi Red coming in on the hit. A nice little screen play there. It looked like could have developed, and the Beavers, again, their pursuit is just incredible, and we've seen them swarming to the ball a few times to stop these big gains.
And not a lot of holes. They had it kind of lined up across the field, not a lot of holes in there. A punt will come up from, I think that's Jacob Johnson back there, number 39. He's going to punt it from about his 15. He gets it up in the air. That's up and about. Nice play by the Beavers, number 21, and I did not know that he was going to try to take that out of there. That is Isaiah Bickham again, and I thought that was a fair catch situation. He got maybe 2 yards, Jordan, but it looked like that was a little more dangerous than it needed to be.
Yeah, I think his game plan was to kind of track that and then maybe get the fair catch when he got under it, and that was a little more of a liner than he thought.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's fielding it in front of a guy, and credit to him for making someone miss at least, because that's a scary situation. That could lead to fumble, injury, stuff like that. So good job by Bickham to kind of turn something into that.
Johnson, give him credit for a 45-yard punt. He got his team out of trouble. Ball on the 42 for the Beavers. Brown is in the backfield behind Jet Harris. Correa, the tight end, is playing to the right side. Beavers leading this one 7-0. 12.5 to go here. Turn around, hand off to Brown up the middle, picking his way. He's got a little bit of opening. He's going to get over the 45 out to about the 48-yard line. And that, for a big back, Jordan, that was kind of a finesse run.
Yeah, a little shimmy for him there, and a good push by the line. And hey, little 5-yard gain. I don't think there's a coach alive or in the coaching box up in the sky that's going to be angry about a running back getting 5 yards of carry.
We don't need to talk about the coaching box up in the sky. I don't think that is true at all. Give Brown 5 yards, 2nd down and 5 to go. Ball in the 47 of the Beavers. We are under 12 minutes to go first half. Mark the Phantom Low here with you with Jordan Georgeson by my side. Bradley the engineer doing his job somewhat over there to our right. Hand off again. Again picking his way through Brown. He's got his way through to the 40, and he's dragged down on a tackle by number 12 for Diablo Valley. That is Robert Morgan, I think. But Brown with an excellent carry, and he'll get a first down to the Beavers at the 37.
Yeah, and I believe that was actually Journey McCoy on the tackle, the DB out of De La Salle. But, good move by Brown there. Kind of his patience with that little shake there, and gets in the open field in a big play.
First down, 37-yard line. Harris turns around, fakes the handoff. He rolls. He's got a tight end. He's going to let it fly for the sideline as he was under pressure. Good pressure by the Vikings there. I think that's Amari Cormier, number 99, who was in the face of Jet Harris.
Yeah, and Harris was looking deep, and it almost looked like Cormier kind of startled him a little bit.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know how he missed him there, but, it looked like he kind of startled him a little bit, and he throws that away. Again, good job by Harris, where I know that's an incompletion, but, don't force anything, don't panic, and, live to play another down.
Put it where nobody can catch it. It looked like he had a tight end in the flat. He had a wide receiver deep, so he had a couple of different places to look, and Cormier made him decide a little bit too early, so it brings up a 2nd down. Ball on the 37. Jane Anderson to the left is a turn. It's a handoff. And that is Wallace back in the game. He'll get down to about the 35, but that's all, and that sets up a 3rd and 8. And to what we've seen so far, Jordan, a lot of options for the Beavers on the 3rd and 8.
Yeah, we've seen them eat these big yards on the ground. We've seen them do it through the air. I wouldn't be shocked to see, Coach O want to get these tight ends involved a little bit on this play. Feels like that's kind of, he needs that medium yardage. He likes to go to the tight ends if possible.
Yeah, Brown is back in the game, and I would not be surprised to see him on some sort of swing passes. Demarion Williams is back on as well, the wide receiver out of Antelope. He'll flank to the right. It's Jaden Anderson to the left. Brown next to Harris. Ball at the 35. Vikings showing pressure up the middle. They don't bring it. We got a penalty. We got a slant, and that one is almost intercepted on the far side. We had a flag dropped right away, which may indicate an offsides, but Jordan, that pass not on target by Harris.
No, it was not. Saphir Stills Bay almost made a huge interception right there. And again, there was a lot of pressure coming from that right side. They might have, looks like an illegal formation, but so it's not going to matter.
Legal procedure on the Beavers, so it's going to set up a 4th down, and Landon Richardson will come back, and Jordan would turn around and flip the coin a little bit. That's a real good stop by the Vikings defense.
Yeah, huge stop right there, especially on a drive where, after that big run by Brown, it felt like, the momentum was really shifting. The line was getting their push. So, again, to come out of this unscathed, if you're DVC, you're pretty happy about that.
Looks like number 24, Amari Taylor, number 7, Jake Calcagno, back for the Vikings right around their 10-yard line. Richardson's last punt was a short one. He averaged 39 last week against Sequoia. He lets that one go from about the 47. It sends it out toward the goal line and just barely missed by the Beavers special team. Almost a tremendous play by number 33. That's Della Washington, who Jordan was down there, and that could have been an excellent play by the Beavers.
How about Washington getting down there? When was the last time you saw a linebacker down that far, getting a chance to down the punt at the 1?
Well, he's changed his number. We talked about going from defensive line to linebacker. I think he was like 95 or something last year, and now he's 33. So if you're going to give yourself 33, you think you're a lean, mean fighting machine out there, and you're moving around pretty well.
You got to have a little bit of speed. Diallo Washington, 6'3", 220, so he's no slouch out there. But
that kind of size and his talent may well be a defensive back going to the next level. First down for the Vikings. 10:24 to go. They trail it just 7-0 here in the first quarter. Boros will hand it off to number 24, and that is Amari Taylor, who had a couple of carries last week for 4 yards, and he's in there as Ferrari Miller taking a break. The gain will be, and let's see how much they give him. It looks like about, let's go with a 5-yard gain, and we set up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, and that was a big one right there for the Vikings, just kind of getting those positive yards. 5-yard gain, especially when you've been getting stuff these last couple of drives. Get some positive momentum here.
Yeah, get some fresh legs in there as well. 2nd down, and we got a penalty. See if it's another delay of game here. No, it's a false start on the Vikings offense, and so that kind of wipes out that nice 5-yard gain you were talking about. Jordan sets up a 2nd and 10, and that's been a difficult kind of dilemma for Boris so far as he's been under pressure from the Beavers front line. Beavers moving around interior defensive line there for a 2nd and 10. He's going to go ahead and he's going to keep that and roll out to his right. He's pursued. He's got a little open territory. He gets to the 25 to 30. He steps out of the 35. And Teddy Boros that time he's done what he hasn't been able to do, Jordan, all day, which is get outside the corner and turn it.
Yeah, and that was Ike Kegbu that almost got him there on that. And a good little move by Boris. And like you said, he's kind of been fighting a lot right there. AR's moving a lot of different pieces around, making it really tough on him in this situation. But good job by the sophomore to make an experienced play, get those chains moving, and kind of overcome that penalty.
And give him a gain of 16 on the play. Sets up a first down at the 36. He's got Taylor to his left. He's got 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. And back, he's looking to the right. Now he looks back to the left. Under pressure, hits the slant. It's caught at the 40-yard line, down at the 41. And we've got a flag is coming late. Actually, it's in the backfield. Let's see. I think we're going to have a roughing the passer penalty on the Beavers. We're going to have a low hit on the Beavers, so that'll add 15 yards, and that will move the Vikings into Beaver territory.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that if you're AR, you just can't do. Don't be giving a team free yards, especially when you've been kind of holding them, stuffing them. Don't give them a reason to kind of believe and get a little momentum and some kind of swagger back into them.
Kind of overshadowed. A nice catch made by the Vikings there. It was going to be a short gain, but still a nice catch made as Boris had a little bit more time, was able to look right, and then look back to the left. First down, ball on the 44 of the Beavers. 8:40 to go in the first half. That's a handoff up the middle. Bouncing it outside is number 24, Amari Taylor, and he's going to be getting maybe about a 2-yard gain. Will set up a 2nd and 8.
That was Antonio Williams that ended up bringing him back. He was a leading tackler for the Beavers last week, 9 tackles, had a tackle for loss as well. So I think first time we've called his name today.
Yeah, and the Beavers, last time they got kind of smacked in the face defensively, they rose up pretty well, and it looked like that kind of a play was more of the same, if you will. Second down. Call it 9 yards to go. Ball on the 43-yard line. Boros in the shotgun. He's got Taylor to his right. He's got 3 out to the left. And he's going to look that way. Quickly release it. Caught out there at the 45. Ducks into the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. It'll be short of a first down, but another good offensive play for the Vikings.
Yeah, that was another nice one. I believe that was Jake Calcango right there, freshman out of California High School, and it looked like that was Quinga that brought him down there. And a little shifty play, kind of these little screen passes have kind of been working for the Vikings so far on this drive.
Yeah, quick screen, like you said, 3 guys out there, and they just kind of sent 2 down, actually just blockers to make the quick hit to Calcagno, and he made the catch and made a nice run, but still short of the first down. It's a little bit more than 2 on third down here, ball on the 37. And here comes the Beavers as a slant is deflected and almost intercepted. I think that's Ken Tilford out there who's getting up a little slow, but he kind of closed that one down. And I thought somebody, Jordan, got a hand on that one.
Yeah, I think one D lineman got a hand on that one. Then Tilford making the diving play. I think he might have gotten dove on or something like that when they were going for that. And I think this is absolutely 4-down territory. I think this is the right call if you're DVC, but good play there by Tilford.
Absolutely right. You got 4th down. You got the ball on the 40. Or on the 37-yard line. You got to get just inside the 35 for a first down. So call it a long 2 or short 3, whichever you prefer. Back to pass. Burris, he's got time. He looks around. He finds a guy. And that is looked like it was intercepted. And I think it was intercepted by, name him. You say the name, Jordan.
Diallo Washington. Who else?
Yeah, absolutely. Grabbed that one. And it didn't look like, Boris had some time and he had some guys moving around, but he didn't look like he threw it to an area that there were any receivers.
No, that was some great coverage there by the Beavers, too. If you looked, almost every guy was kind of locked up, and I think he was throwing something right there because he saw where the receiver was supposed to be. And not only does get intercepted. But how about the hit laid by Koinga, too, on the receiver? The
Yeah.
only guy that was kind of in that vicinity. That's a Beaver defense doing what they do.
Kind of surprised a little bit that they did the straight drop back with just 2 yards to go. They've been having a little bit of success, moving Boris around or running the middle with Taylor, but they went to the pass, and the Beavers defense, again, stepped up to it. They got smacked a little bit, and they stepped up to it. And now let's see what the offense could do with 7:04 to go in the second quarter. Harris in the shotgun. Turns, he hands it off up the middle. A little bit of room cutting through at the 35 to the 36. A nice job. Let's see. Was that see if that was TQ Wallace in there again, or no, that's Brown back in the game, and he made a nice run. He's shown some finesse. He's shown some power, Jordan.
Yeah, and Brown, again, like you said, showing finesse and power. And I know he had kind of some consistent guys last year, but Elias Brown might be earning that name of Mr. 5 yards because it seems like every time he's getting that carry, he's getting 5 yards every time.
It seems like that we have a perfect kind of a thunder and lightning situation with Brown and with Wallace, and I know Coach O going to mix and match them the best way he can, but the one's very, quick, darts around, and one bull straight ahead, but both have different aspects. There's a quick swing out to the left side to Brown, and I thought we were trying to get him the ball on a swing pass, which is exactly what they did, but in that case, Harris thought he was going to be a little bit further upfield.
Yeah, I was a little bit in front of him, and just kind of off the fingertips. That's when the Beavers are going to want back, although the Vikings were swarming to that ball. I don't know if that would have gone for much. I think Brown would have looked up and seen himself met by a wall of white jerseys.
I think if he gets the ball in stride, he's got a chance to beat one guy. I mean, you want to give him that chance, obviously. Yeah, the Vikings have shown some good pursuit. I've been very impressed with their defense through, so far through the first quarter and a half, as they've held the Beavers to just 7 points. And we are at third down now. Got to get to the 41-yard line, so call it 6. Harris throws the slant. He's got Anderson. Anderson reaches back, makes the catch. He gets over midfield, and that's a first down for the Beavers.
And that's another one where, Harris threw it a little behind him, but right there, good play by Anderson. He was being blanketed by his corner, and the Beavers are moving the chains, and you can already see the chemistry kind of growing between Harris and his receivers.
Jeffrey Holden out of Vallejo, a freshman, on the tackle. But again, the slant has been there a couple of times. That went a little behind, but Anderson reaches back. And Jaden with a tremendous performance, as you talked about last week, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns for the Beavers. And he gives the Beavers a first down just on the Viking side of midfield with 5:45 to go first half. Turn around and hand off to Brown. Brown's got a little bit of room. He cuts it back to the 40. He's hit hard at the 41 and goes ahead and gets inside the 40 to the 38. I believe that's number 4, Anthony Henry from Skyline High. Made a nice play, Jordan, but that's Brown at his best, I think, right there.
Yeah, Henry was flying up ready to lay the wood, and then Brown just put his shoulder down, too, and said, if you hit me, I can hit you harder. And, he's the type of guy, too, that guy like him rushing at you constantly, he's going to wear you down over the course of a game. And now, hey, why not get some fresh legs like TQ Wallace in here?
Exactly, which is the way that you love to play it. 6 foot 230 for Elias Brown, one of the co-captains for the Beavers here today. He gives the Beavers a first down at the 39-yard line. And as Jordan says, Wallace back in the game. He'll get the handoff and go right, cut back the 35, get inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. And Jordan, that change of pace is an invaluable thing for Coach O and for the Beavers coaching staff to have.
Yeah, especially when you have so much speed in a guy like Wallace, and then a guy like Wallace, too, that we saw him put his shoulder down, too. I mean, this rushing attack has potential to be just as scary, if not scarier, as it was last year.
And we've talked about the size of the offensive line for the Beavers. It tends to wear you down, so that's why it seems like they want to go quickly here offensively, but this time they will hold it up. They've got about 4 yards to go, so a 2nd and 4. Wallace behind Harris. Harris hands it right to TQ. He's going to cut it outside. He got a flag coming in, and he will get close to a first down. Might indicate a hold as Wallace bounces to the outside.
Yeah, I think they're going to get a hold right here on number 88, A.J. Fast, it looks like. And the Beavers are going to have to march this one back a little bit.
Trying to hold the end, the tight end, and then, as we say, Wallace bounces that out to the outside. And that's something, obviously, that you're going to get with TQ Wallace, is that versatility and that ability to kick it outside. In this case, Beavers are called for the hold. That'll bring the ball back to about the 44-yard line of the Vikings. And it'll be about 15 yards to go for a first down.
Again, that's big, too, because this moves you out of that, long field goal / go for it range into punting range again.
Second down, 15 yards to go. Harris with Brown on his right side. There's Anderson splitting wide left. He's trying to get one-on-one. He's got it. They're looking. He's going to slant in, go back out. He's open. He gets it at the 18 and is dragged down by number 4, Anthony Henry. Anderson that time slanted it in and then went back out, and that's a beautiful pass right there by Jet Harris.
And it looks like we do have a flag on the field, but that was a great double move there, too, by Anderson. I mean, he had his guy beat on that first cut, and that second cut, he just created so much space.
Flag on the 25, so let's see what the call is. And they're going to move the back. Doesn't look like it's going to be, I don't see
I think it's sideline warning.
Sideline warning from the, that's the second one I thought on the Beavers so far. But a first down on a beautiful play to Anderson, as Jordan said, a great route by Jaden. Slanted in and went back out and laid up there perfectly by Jet Harris. And the Beavers now with the ball at the 13-yard line. 1st and 10. Brown the back behind Jet Harris. He's going to turn. He's going to fake it. He's still got it. He's got a guy wide open in the flat. That is number 80, who's made the catch, cutting it back at the 5. Good job by the Vikings to swarm in on Gavin Correa, but it's a good gain for the Beavers on first down.
Yeah, and again, getting those tight ends involved. Why not give it to your big guys when you're getting close to the goal line? And Correa does a good job moving it forward, and is just met by a horde of Vikings right there.
Yeah, good job by the Vikings. As we talk about, too, Jordan, once you establish that running game, that threat of the running game, you send Brown or Wallace out to the left side and spin back to the right. And really, Harris had nobody in his space as he picked up Gavin Correa. So 2nd down. Ball is at the, looks like the 5-yard line. There's a quick handoff to Brown up the middle. He's going to get down close to the goal line. He should get the first down if he doesn't get the touchdown. Let's see. They're not moving the change yet, so let's see.
It looks like the knee might have hit the ground. No, it looks like they did give him that first.
Yeah, they're going to give him the first down at about the 2-yard line. So Brown with a really slashing run right there. They just said, go ahead, give it to you and go up the middle, follow those backs. So 1st and goal, ball at the 2. Harris is going to turn. He's going to hand it right to Brown. He's going to try to pick his way in. And again, the Vikings prove equal to the task. They're going to bring him down after a gain of just 1.
Yeah, and again, he's just met by a wall of white jerseys. I believe leading that charge was Joshua Lichtenstein. No, that can't be right. He's listed as a punter. But we'll get a number on that. But, yeah, just a wall of white jerseys right there to kind of stuff him there.
Timeout here for 2nd and goal. The ball just outside the goal line is Brown. The only way really they've stopped Brown so far is when they know he's got to run straight up the middle when they don't have any room to move. If he's got a little bit of room, he's proven to be a valuable runner. So far, I think the Vikings, we've talked about the Vikings defense, and they've just been on the field maybe a little bit too long here in this first half.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things. Is last game, Diablo Valley had the ball for 31 minutes, 12 seconds. And actually, last game, AR only had the ball for 23 minutes. So AR was kind of attacking with bigger chunk plays, and Diablo Valley's defense is getting a little more rest. This game feels like AR is kind of just marching down the field a little more methodically. We've really only seen the 1 or 2 big plays, and they're just kind of wearing them out, and it's becoming a war of attrition right now.
Yeah, we've seen Brown. We've seen TQ Wallace, Nathan Crawford, who was slated to play a big part in the backfield. The freshman from 12 Bridges suffered a broken clavicle last week, so he is out for the season. So he would be in there. So far we've just seen really the 2 running backs and Harris at quarterback. And now a full house backfield for the Beavers. They got 3 guys behind Harris who's going to take that one under center, turns and hands it to Brown again. Brown punches his way through, gets over the top. That's a touchdown for American River. And they lead this one 13-0.
Yeah, and it felt like Brown, again, kind of showed that little patience where he made his little juke and then found the hole and just dove over it. And how about Edgar Montez as one of the blockers on that, the linebacker coming in and making some plays on offense.
Yeah, Montez with a big game on defense last week, picked up 9 tackles. But, yeah, I think we see that a lot with the Beavers. We saw that last year when we had linemen coming in on goal line situations. And here's Cameron Smith, his 2nd PAT of the day. Freshman out of Del Oro. Strikes it through, hits it clean, and it is right through the middle. Julian Vasquez, the backup quarterback, number 4, is the holder on those plays. And the Beavers have put another 7 up on the board. They lead this one 14-0 with 2:30 to go in the second quarter. We'll take a quick timeout. Mark the Phantom Low and Jordan Georgeson for Stone. Welcome back to Beaver Stadium. Beavers on top 14-0. A couple of 1-yard runs, one by Jet Harris, one by Elias Brown, who didn't really start, Jordan, and it was kind of absent during the first quarter, but he's been very prevalent here in the second quarter, and the Beavers offense more varied and more successful because of it.
Yeah, it feels like Brown just kind of offers a little bit of everything. He's got some power, got some speed, got some shiftiness, which we've seen. You don't see a 232-pound man kind of is, able to be as agile as he is.
Davis and Taylor back to receive the kick from Cameron Smith. And that one is going to go into the end zone. Smith put the foot to that one, and it'll be first down for the Vikings. And with 2:27 to go, Jordan, I guess the mandate for the Vikings offense is kind of assert yourself before halftime.
Yeah, I think so. I think you need to find a way to get some points, just crack this goose egg that's on the board. I mean, you missed a field goal. You had a few drives where you were moving the ball, turnovers, drives just stalling. I mean, part of it's credit to the Beavers defense, but I think in order to get some confidence, you have to give the Beavers the ball coming into this, or get, some type of points. Don't give the Beavers the ball back, especially don't give them it back with any time to do something.
Absolutely. Ted Boris is the quarterback, the right-hander out of California High School, threw for 219 and 2 scores last week in the loss to Fresno. He's got running back to his left. He's got 3 wide receivers out to the right. They've thrown short on this, but he looks left. Now he looks middle. He's got a guy tracking all the way across, and the pass is dropped. That is number 16 right there. That's Cade Young, the wide receiver from Clayton Valley, who had a couple of catches last week, but that one a little bit behind him.
Yeah, it looked like it was behind him. It almost looked like he bobbled it too. Maybe tried to catch it behind his back on that second bobble, and that's when they're going to want back.
Yeah.
You get some style points.
They kind of tracked, the receiver had time. Boris had time that time to track Young all the way across the field, but ultimately an incompletion, second down and 10 to go, ball on the 25 for the Vikings. That is Taylor to the right side. He's coming out of the backfield, but it's a quick slant to the tight end coming in. He's going to pick his way through 31, 32, maybe out to the 33-yard line, and that'll set up a third down for Diablo Valley, and they're going to take that third down quickly as they've got to get to the 35. That was Kikoa Barcinas with the catch there, and then we got a penalty immediately as Boris is going to go deep down the left side. He's got a guy, but it's a little bit behind him, but we're going to have a penalty on this play. We'll wait and see what the call is.
I'm wondering if that's a procedural penalty right there, or it could have been an offsides, but he was looking for Young there again on that, and with the way this one's looking, I'm guessing this one's going to get marched back.
And I think that's going to be exactly what you said they couldn't afford to do with that incompletion. It is an offsides. You were right the first time, Jordan. That's going to give the Vikings a first down. And like you said, that's critical with 2 minutes to go here and not wanting to give the ball back to the Beavers and trying to get something themselves. And Teddy Boris has looked like he's had a little more time to throw, which is, that's a plus for the Diablo Valley offensive line.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, too, that we've seen is ever since the Beavers got that pressure initially, we're seeing a lot more of those little screen passes coming out of those, trips formations. And I think part of that's a testament to the pressure AR's put on them early. And I think it's kind of something to give Boris maybe a little more confidence, get a few more completions, and see if we can get some guys in some open space.
Yeah, not surprisingly on both sides, we've seen a lot of slants, a lot of drag routes across the middle. We did see the double move by Jaden Anderson, which was probably the most successful passing play of the first half for both teams. But you're right, they are relying on their tight ends with those quick hitters and trying to get through. Now, the bad thing for Vikings is the American River College defenders are really good at pursuit, and they haven't missed a lot of tackles so far in the first half.
No, they really haven't, and I think that's one thing that, an offense like Diablo Valley is kind of thriving off of, is playing against teams and making guys miss, and he was playing against a defense that even if you make a guy miss, there's another one right there to hit you.
Exactly. Amari Taylor, the running back, next to Boris. 3 receivers out to the right side. They had thrown short on this formation before, but Boris looks, he's going to get out of there. He's got time. He's going to throw deep down the middle. He's got a guy open. The throw is caught at the 15-yard line. What a pass by Boris. And let's see, I think that is the same, I think that's Barcinas, number 85, Jordan, to make the catch, the freshman out of Granada.
And a great play there. Great throw by Boris. The best throw we've seen him have all day. And Barcinas right there, too. I think he even got a little bit of a bad spot there. I don't think his knee touched until he kind of rolled over the defender.
Well, he had to go back and look back over his outside shoulder and make a catch. So got to give him his credit, got to give him his the name if we can while we have a second. Kikoa Lagapa Barcinas was the receiver. And, again, well thrown and well caught, and gives the first down on the 13-yard line. Make that the 14-yard line with 1:20 to go here in the first half. Boros is trying to hurry his team up. He's got 3 out to the left. He's going to hand that one off. Back, Ferrari Miller is back in. He's got some room. He's going to get down right around the 5-yard line. That'll be close to a first down for the Vikings. I think it's going to be a little bit short, but as we go down to a minute, it's second down on the 5-yard line.
And they've got this Beaver defense on their heels in a way we haven't really seen yet today. It's going to be interesting to see how they kind of respond here, especially now that it's slowed down a little bit on the goal line.
Under a minute to go, first half. 3 receivers out to the right for the Vikings. They got the single running back behind the quarterback, Teddy Boros. He turns, he hands it off to Miller again. Miller looking for an opening. He should get the first down on that carry. He will not get the touchdown. Let's see where the spot is, and I think we're going to get a timeout on the field.
And it looks like
did they give him the first down? I don't think they did, Jordan. I can't really tell what the ball's put down. No, it doesn't look like they did, but it is going to be third and short, 39 seconds to go. And, you have the big play, as we said, to Barcinas right there, but we talked about Boros getting a little more time. He stepped up on that play, gave himself a little bit of room, and he was able to really get into that throw and made a beauty.
Yeah, and that was a big one right there. I mean, he really stepped into that. Like
yeah,
you said,
he really
put
did.
His whole body behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was about as far as he could throw that ball. But now it's going to be interesting how they play this. First down, 39 seconds left. You haven't really been able to get a ton running the ball on this Beaver defense. And, the short passing games haven't completely worked. You only have 1 timeout. I'm really interested to see how the Vikings play this because right now, if you're the Beavers, I think there's a chance that, if you hold them to a field goal here, I think that's a huge win for the Beavers. Go in with that 2-score lead.
Well, the Beavers have been putting a lot of pressure up until these last couple of plays. If Boros wants to drop back and try to pass it, I think that's going to put himself in trouble. There's not a lot of room for his receivers down here. You would think they would try Miller again on that last play. I thought he was going to get a little bit more than he did. He didn't get the first down, which isn't really vital right now because they're going to go on fourth down anyway, so it doesn't matter. They have 1 timeout left, and we are ready to go here. 39 seconds to go. Third and short, ball on the 4-yard line. A turn and handoff. Miller's going to get stopped. He's going to push forward. I think he'll get the first down. He will be short of the goal line, but he'll be very close, right about the 1-yard line. We go under 30 seconds, and the timeout. So it looks like they gave him the first down on the play before, although the side marker said third down. And the Vikings will call timeout again. It doesn't really matter with 26 seconds to go. So we have a second down and goal to go, Jordan. And it looked like they decided, we've got the timeout. Let's go ahead and go on the ground. And now they have the same problem that you were talking about before. If they don't get it on this down, their time with just 26 seconds to go.
Yeah, and I think if you're in this timeout, if you're the Vikings, you don't want to necessarily plan for failure, but I think you almost need to call 2 plays and say, hey, we're running this, and then if this doesn't work, we're running this right after. And if you're kind of in that situation, one of them has to be through the air with the amount of time left and, no timeouts.
Well, you can always also, you do the running play, it doesn't work, you line up, you spike the ball, something like that to give yourself a little time to reset and go third down. But I don't think, I know it's only 14-0, but I think for the Vikings, I really think they want to put 7 up. Obviously, they want to put 7 up on the board, but I think they have to put 7 up on the board. You can't put, just 3 on the board. They've had the good drive, obviously, with the big chunk play, which the Beavers gave up, but they haven't really given up a little bit more than that chunk play. So let's see what they do. They're in the shotgun formation. Second and goal, ball at the 1-yard line, maybe just outside the 1. Miller behind Boros. He's at the 5, and now we've got a flag, and that's what they didn't want to have happen if you're a Viking. Let's see. It's going to be on the Vikings. So, in a way, Jordan, obviously you don't want to give away yards. It gives you a little bit more room to operate.
It gives you a little more room to operate, but I think what's big about this is, like you said, you want to go in getting 7 because I believe the Vikings are going to be getting the ball to start second half.
Right.
So, but now this kind of puts you in a situation where if you don't get anything right here and you're facing third and goal from the 8, you could be sitting here saying this might be 3 territory.
Yeah, you're right. This is, I think it is. I think it's 4-down territory, but we'll see. I mean, it's still just the second quarter. They feel like, hey, we're moving the ball now. We just want to get points on the board. They put 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds back up on the clock. Let's see. I thought it was 26, but it's now 29. It'll be third down now.
Yeah, because that was a pre-snap penalty, so no time should have come off. So it was 29 when we started.
So it looks like some time maybe mistakenly came off the clock because it was.
So now they're going to put it back. Okay, yeah, but they got the snap off, but it was invalidated. So looking at the side marker, it does say second down. So it's second down, ball just outside the 5. Goal to go, obviously, here. 29 seconds to go, first half. Beavers lead this one 14-0, but the Vikings, with a big chunk play, have put themselves in position to cut that lead perhaps in half. As Eddie Boris, quarterback, turns around, he fakes it. He's looking into the end zone. He lifts one up, and that is incomplete out of the back of the end zone. There was some contact there, Jordan. It didn't look like it was really pertinent to the play.
No, I think it was an uncatchable ball type of situation. Great coverage there by the Beavers. They just dropped a lot of guys back and basically said, hey, we know you're going to the end zone. Try to throw it through the sea of blue. I mean, they're basically building a beaver dam out there.
I thought it took longer, but only 3 seconds off the clock. So third down, goal to go, ball at the 5.
Like you say, with it being potentially 4-down territory, this is going to be interesting to see how they play this.
Exactly. They can't really run the ball and get stopped because they can't waste another play. So they've got 3 to the right. They've thrown the short screens in these situations before. It's going to be a handoff to Miller and a misdirect. He cuts back up the middle. He is pushed forward, and he is down at the 1-yard line. And with the clock ticking, it'll be fourth down, and the Vikings are going to set up now. They're going to send somebody in. They do not. And it is 10 seconds to go here under center and trying to go straight forward, but we've got a whistle. We might have had a timeout called, but there's no timeouts available to anybody. So we do see the yellow flag on the field. And let's see. Now, Jordan, I think got to get too far ahead of ourselves. It could be obviously offsides on the Beavers. It could be illegal procedure, which is what Stones McCoy thinks it is. No, we had a timeout by American River. It showed there were no timeouts available to them. So not a bad idea for the Beavers. They didn't want to, be caught unaware on that play, Jordan. It looked like Boris was just going to try to pound that through, and I don't know that he won't try to do that now.
Yeah, I think he does now. I think if you're the Beavers, this is kind of a tactic to, get your biggest guys in there, try to stuff them, because I think a stop right here goes so far in this. And if you're DVC, I think you're kind of doing the same. You're saying we have to get this yard by any means necessary.
You made the point. They get the ball to start the second half. In an unlikely scenario, they could be down 7 with the ball to start the second half in a game that they really have been pretty much dominated by the American River College Beavers, but they got the big play. They got it down to the 1-yard line now. And we have fourth down. 7 seconds to go in the half, so I was just last play in the half. Let's see, and it looks like Boris will go in under center. He's got the running back. He's going to try to push it through. He's not moving. There's the call. It'll be a touchdown for the Vikings.
Yeah, and a good push there by the Viking offensive line. Boris kind of just slowly, methodically gets his way through, and, they may just sweat it out if you're a DVC fan, but at the end of the day, you get the points, and that's huge going into this half.
Michael Vaccaro will come on to try to make it a 7-point game. 3 seconds to go, so we'll have a kickoff before halftime. Vaccaro missed a field goal earlier, and this could be, he makes this, it could have been a 14-10 game. And like you say, Jordan, in a half that seemingly was dominated by the Beavers for about 27 minutes, and that is blocked by the Beavers. They're going to scoop it up, but the tackle is made. And now we've got a lateral kind of situation, gets it up to the 38, which won't matter, but the block will matter. So far the kicking game kind of letting the Vikings down. They put 6 up on the board, and it is a 14-6 game. Second went off the clock, but it shouldn't because that's a dead ball play. So it should be 3 seconds to go. But good job by the defensive line for the Beavers to get in and swat that one down. Every point counts. But the Vikings, we talked about it before this drive, Jordan, they got to feel pretty good about themselves going into halftime.
Yeah, they got to feel good. But, if you're AR2, just getting that block, that's a good way to, again, kind of just steal some of that momentum back going into the half. I think that was Risley that got the block, and then it looked like they flipped it back to Nolan King, actually kind of got the last 10 yards of that return. But I'm with you. If you're DVC, I know that kick kind of leaves a bitter taste in your mouth, but at the end of the day, you broke that shutout. You got 6 points. It's a one-possession game, and barring a disaster on this kick return, you're going to be getting the ball back trailing by 8 points. You've got to kind of hang your hat on that one.
Exactly. And it's kind of a wake-up call for the Beavers. We'll talk about that. We'll do a little bit of a halftime show right after this half concludes, but the Beavers will come out to return this kick. Looks like Bickham, number 21, will go back along with number 5. That's TQ Wallace. I would be surprised if they kicked it deep, But you never know. Might try a little squib kick to run off these 3 seconds.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give a little squib. I don't think you want to give any chance for a big play here.
Vikings,
Vikings.
0-1. Sorry, Jordan. Vikings 0-1. Beavers ranked third in the state here, and I don't think that Coach O would say they put that kind of a performance on the field so far. Vaccaro's going to just squib it along the ground. It's covered there by the Beavers at the 37-yard line. And it will be time for, it looks like, one more play perhaps before we go to halftime. Beavers lead this one 14-6. They got a 1-yard run from Jet Harris, a 1-yard run from Elias Brown to go up 14-0. Big play by Boros. Late in the first half, he hit the tight end, Barcinas, for a big gain, set up a 1-yard run from Teddy Boros in 3 seconds on the clock, as no time expired on that. But let's see if the clock starts on the whistle. Beavers are just going to go into downing formation with Harris under center.
And they're marching them back for something.
Ball placed at the 37-yard line. Beavers in tight formation will take a knee here, and we will go into the halftime break. First game of the season here from Beaver Stadium. And we go to that halftime break as Harris takes the knee. Our score at halftime is the Beavers 14, the Vikings 6. We're taking a little break. We're back with a short halftime show right after this on the Stones Broadcast Networks.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We'd love to see you.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Placer County's best kept secret is back for another exciting summer at historic McBean Stadiums. Loaded with fun for the whole family, local beer, wine, and eats. Fireworks, giveaways, theme nights, kids zone, and more. Come join in the fun and enjoy small town baseball with Major League Entertainment. Tickets on sale now at LincolnPotters.com.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Welcome to the ARC Halftime Show, presented by Taylor Builders.
Welcome back to Beaver Stadium. Halftime here. Thank you, Chris Toy, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you, Taylor Builders, for sponsoring our halftime show. Mark the Phantom Low here with Jordan Georgeson. And Jordan, 14-6 Beavers at halftime. Both teams probably have a little bit to be happy about. Which team do you think's feeling better about themselves?
I think AR right now is still feeling better about themselves. You know, I mean, by all means necessary. I think that was a dominant first half on both sides of the ball for AR, but at the same time, you'll get a scoreboard going. We just kind of dominated that first half, and it's 14-6. What's going on? How can we execute better and win this game as comfortably as it feels like you're playing it.
Yeah, it's a great point you make, because the Beavers, except for that one play that Teddy Boros, the long pass that he completed, which led to the touchdown, give Vikings a lot of credit for that. Except for that play, it seemed like the Beavers basically doing everything they wanted, both on defense and on offense. They only put 14 points up on the board, but they were the result of some good drives, and they really used a varied attack and used the running game and the passing game. So a lot to feel good about then. It just may be a feeling that you should be up more is the only thing I think maybe American River will be thinking about.
Yeah, and I know it feels like they left some points on the board, especially early. There were a few miscues, some drop passes, some missed throws, stuff like that kind of got cleaned up as this one went along. And, like you said, when you're going a little more methodically down the field, the score's not going to reflect that. I do think the push that the line is getting and the way Brown is running the ball and just the way they can mix it up, I think this is, like we kind of mentioned earlier, a little bit of a war of attrition. They're kind of wearing them down. But again, if you're Coach O, I think you are a little frustrated because it does feel like they should be up more. And, 14-0 and 14-6 are very different scores, especially when the Vikings are getting the ball starting second half.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm thinking about, if I'm from the Beavers defensively, I thought, for the most part they played excellent ball. But, Teddy Boros, the quarterback for Diablo Valley, kind of worked himself a little bit in that late in the second quarter, midway and late in the second quarter. Kind of freed himself up a little bit, kind of was able to step up a little bit more, found himself a little bit more time, and you don't want to see that if you're the defense.
No, I don't think you do. And, one of the biggest keys to this game for the Beavers is to get pressure, especially. I know you're mixing in a lot of new guys on the line, but AR's got to find a way to keep that pressure up on him, keep it up on Boris. And because, watching him play, Boris has made some plays, but it also felt like he's kind of, he's gotten sacks, he's gotten himself into a little bit of pressure. So I think if you're the Beavers, bring that pressure, and maybe he makes a play or two, and you got to tip your hat to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think more often than not, you're going to force him into a mistake.
Yeah, Diallo Washington, Garrett Risley, a couple of the names that we've been saying on the defense. On the offensive side, Elias Brown did not start the game, really. It was TQ Wallace who's been great. But you can see, Jordan, just watching that half, Anderson with the catch later, Baker with a catch as well. You can see that the components that the Beavers offense is working with, and when they're all working together, you can see they can be pretty effective.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, like we said, there's so many different ways this team can attack you. There's 3 very capable tight ends. There's 2 or 3 capable receivers. We've seen 2 running backs really mixing in, 3 if you count Anderson. I know he's kind of been used as a blocker more, but he's a guy that can get some carries. I mean, there's so many. I mean, this is almost like the Hydra. It's like an 8-headed monster of guys that they can attack you with here. So if you're AR, I think you got to find a way to get some of these weapons a little more involved. But again, I don't think there's a lot that you're frustrated about. I think you're just kind of looking at that score going, why does this feel like the most comfortable win?
Exactly. So that is our first half halftime report. Jordan, we are going to throw some scores at the end of our halftime report. You're going to run that duty for us, and so why don't you give us some scores with games going on around the area?
Yeah, a couple ones of local interest right now. Butte is leading Laney 20-7 late in the second quarter. 2 teams that, AR has had a lot of history with over the years. I believe we're going to be seeing Butte at some point soon. Another one, Sequoias against San Francisco. If you remember, San Francisco's team that AR played in the NorCal semifinals last year. They're leading Sequoias 17-2 right now, heading into the halftime late in the second quarter there as well. 17-2 for that. The Sequoias obviously played AR last week, 35-18 win for the Beavers. Another one that I know a lot of fans are looking at, halftime San Mateo's leading Reedley 13-0. Another one tonight I think a lot of AR fans are going to have their eyes on. Sierra plays Fresno City down in Fresno at 5 o'clock. So, hey, your big rival going up against the team you're playing next week.
That's huge.
I am willing to bet that we're going to find Coach O watching that game somewhere.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jordan. That's our halftime report. Again, our score, American River College 14 and Diablo Valley College 6. We're back in the second half with just a little while. You're listening to American River College Athletics on Stone's Broadcast Networks.
When it comes to your home's maintenance and repairs, Jeffers Resource Group has you covered. Our handyman services offer a comprehensive range of expertise so you can have peace of mind. Contact us to schedule your service today.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Monica from Ace Body Shop in Telling. We are a family-oriented business. We've been in business for over 30 years. We are located downtown Lincoln at 333 Lincoln Boulevard in Lincoln, California. We do automotive repair and 24-hour towing. Our phone number is 916-645-2859, or you can find us on the web.
When it comes to your home's maintenance and repairs, Jeffers Resource Group has you covered. Our handyman services offer a comprehensive range of expertise, from minor carpentry to drywall, electrical and flooring for property managers, landlords, and renters alike. We ensure that every job is completed to the highest standards, so you can have peace of mind. Contact us today to discover how Jeffers Resource Group can help keep your home in top shape.
Got dragged there, and I didn't. He's an actor. Oh crap! Who cares?
You got the rest of your life to be, serious. But
just tweet it out and then don't really
run away.
No, I think it happens to some of us. Maybe it sounds a little personal to you, but
I'm not. I didn't want me.
Yeah,
to
I don't
sound
know.
That
It just
way.
maybe sounds like that.
Generally,
fine.
Again, you're a very bright guy.
Yeah.
You see right into
Right
my
through
soul,
you.
my friend. That's why I have so many jobs, because people think I'm funny when they're driving home.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Placer County's best-kept secret is back for another exciting summer at historic McBean Stadiums. Loaded with fun for the whole family, local beer, wine, and eats. Fireworks, giveaways, theme nights, kids zone, and more. Come join in the fun and enjoy small-town baseball with Major League Entertainment. Tickets on sale now at LincolnPotters.com.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We'd love to see you.
Pass flung on and missed. He got him on strikes at 86, the off-speeder. Bruno strikes out the... He's going to look that way. Now he's going to duck down the middle. He's got a guy wide open at the 18 kid. That's Robert Freeman. And Robert's trying to make a couple of moves. He comes back to the 15, comes down to the 10. He gets a block to the 5.
When it comes to your home's maintenance and repairs, Jeffers Resource Group has you covered. Our handyman services offer a comprehensive range of expertise, so you can have peace of mind. Contact us to schedule your service today.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Hi, I'm Monica from Ace Body Shop in Telling. We are a family-oriented business. We've been in business for over 30 years. We are located downtown Lincoln at 333 Lincoln Boulevard in Lincoln, California. We do automotive repair and 24-hour towing. Our phone number is 916-645-2859, or you can find us on the web.
When it comes to your home's maintenance and repairs, Jeffers Resource Group has you covered. Our handyman services offer a comprehensive range of expertise, from minor carpentry to drywall, electrical and flooring for property managers, landlords, and renters alike. We ensure that every job is completed to the highest standards, so you can have peace of mind. Contact us today to discover how Jeffers Resource Group can help keep your home in top shape.
Got dragged there, and I didn't. He's an actor. Oh crap! Who cares?
You got the rest of your life to be, serious, but
just tweet it out and then don't really
run away.
Yeah.
No, I think it happens to some of us. Maybe it sounds a little personal to you, but
I didn't want me.
Yeah,
to
I don't
sound
know.
that
It just
way.
maybe sounds like that.
Generally,
fine.
Again, you're a very bright guy.
Yeah.
You see right into
Right
my
through
soul,
you.
my friend. That's why I have so many jobs, because people think I'm funny when they're driving home.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Placer County's best-kept secret is back for another exciting summer at historic McBean Stadiums. Loaded with fun for the whole family, local beer, wine, and eats. Fireworks, giveaways, theme nights, kids zone, and more. Come join in the fun and enjoy small-town baseball with Major League Entertainment. Tickets on sale now at LincolnPotters.com.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We'd love to see you.
Pass flung on and missed. He got him on strikes at 86, the off-speeder. Bruno strikes out the... He's going to look that way. Now he's going to duck down the middle. He's got a guy wide open at the 18 kid. That's Robert Freeman. And Robert's trying to make a couple of moves. He comes back to the 15, comes down to the 10. He gets a block to the 5.
When it comes to your home's maintenance and repairs, Jeffers Resource Group has you covered. Our handyman services offer a comprehensive range of expertise, so you can have peace of mind. Contact us to schedule your service today.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Hi, I'm Monica from from Ace Body Shop in Telland. We are a family-oriented business. We've been in business for over 30 years. We are located downtown Lincoln at 333 Lincoln Boulevard in Lincoln, California. We do automotive repair and 24-hour towing. Our phone number is 916-645-2859, or you can find us on the web.
When it comes to your home's maintenance and repairs, Jeffers Resource Group has you covered. Our handyman services offer a comprehensive range of expertise, from minor carpentry to drywall, electrical and flooring for property managers, landlords, and renters alike. We ensure that every job is completed to the highest standards, so you can have peace of mind. Contact us today to discover how Jeffers Resource Group can help keep your home in top shape.
Got dragged there, and I didn't. He's an actor. Oh crap! Who cares?
You got the rest of your life to be, serious. But
just tweet it out and then don't really
run away.
No, I think it happens to some of us. Maybe it sounds a little personal to you, but
I didn't want me.
Yeah,
to
I don't
sound
know.
that
It just
way.
maybe sounds like that.
Generally,
fine.
Again, you're a very bright guy.
Yeah.
You see right into
Right
my
through
soul,
you.
my friend. That's why I have so many jobs, because people think I'm funny when they're driving home.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Placer County's best-kept secret is back for another exciting summer at historic McBean Stadiums. Loaded with fun for the whole family, local beer, wine, and eats. Fireworks, giveaways, theme nights, kids zone, and more. Come join in the fun and enjoy small-town baseball with Major League Entertainment. Tickets on sale now at LincolnPotters.com.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Welcome back to Beaver Stadium on the campus of American River College. Second half action between the Beavers and the Vikings from Diablo Valley College. 14-6 Beavers lead at Mark the Phantom Low here with Jordan Georgeson. And the Beavers will be kicking off to the Vikings, who scored a touchdown right before halftime, a 1-yard run by the quarterback Teddy Boros. And going back is Davis and Taylor. Amari Taylor, number 24, Sean Davis, number 28, as Cameron Smith will kick it off for the Beavers. And he has put it deep, and that is way out of the end zone. That is one of the longest kicks we've seen, and it'll come out for the Diablo Valley Vikings. And Jordan, we talked about it in the halftime show. The Vikings have to be pretty encouraged by especially how the second half of the second quarter went today.
Yeah, especially, the way they were able to move the ball. They had that huge chunk play. They were able to kind of eat 8, 9, 10 yards at a time. The Beavers gave them a few free yards, but it kind of proved to themselves going into that locker room, hey, we can move the ball on these guys.
Let's see if the Beavers got a little wake-up call from the coaches at halftime, although the defense has been on the pursuit this entire game. Teddy Boros is the quarterback again. He's going to turn around. He's going to hand it off, cut back, and a couple of defenders handling. I think that's Ferrari Miller who got the handoff, and he's going to get maybe 1 yard tackled by a trio of Beavers.
Yeah, and I think kind of leading that trio looked like it might have been Gavin Malloy there from Oak Ridge.
Coach O really very high on Gavin Malloy. Mentioned him in the talk we had the other day. 2nd and 9 for the Vikings. One wide receiver out to the right, 3 to the left. The running back behind Teddy Boros. We threw for 219 and a couple scores last week. He's looking to the right. He's got a guy open. The throw, I think, is a little too low, and it will be incomplete. Nice coverage by number 3, Ken Tilford, who has been man-on-man with the wide receiver to this side, Jordan, all day long, and he's been doing a great job.
Yeah, good job there by Tilford, and then also some good pressure by Risley. I mean, he didn't really get close to the sack, but I think he did enough to make Boris uncomfortable there. Was kind of beating his guy, forced that throw a little earlier than I think Boris wanted to throw it.
Jonathan Correa, number 97, out of Rockland, comes into the lineup. Tilford again out here against the wide receiver as a third down coming up and 9 yards to go for the Vikings, just getting started here second half. Burrows back to pass. He's got a little bit of time now. He's going to pull it down. He's going to run out. He's going to make a ball fake, but handled over there on the left side by the Beavers. A fine tackle. I think that was number 96, Jonathan Correa, Jordan, to drop him, and he'll gain maybe 1, set up a fourth down.
Yeah, I think that initial contact was Trevon Robinson, the linebacker out of Luther Burbank High School, and then Correa comes in, finishes the job, and, you know, that pursuit that we've seen all day comes in big right there.
Jacob Johnson will go back to a punt. He had 45-yard punt in his last try. He's got Brigham down here at the 35 waiting for it. He'll get it off barely. Almost had some collision. That's going to bounce at the 45 and keep rolling. Well defended by the special teams of the Vikings, and they'll pick it up at the 33, and that's where the Beavers will start. So another good punt, this time 47 yards for Jacob Johnson. He's put the Beavers back on their 33-yard line in their first offensive effort here of the third quarter. As we talked about a couple times, Jordan, they had a couple of really nice sustained drives. They put the ball on the carpet the first time, came back from that, had a couple of really nice sustained drive. They alternated Brown and Wallace in the backfield. Jet Harris throwing to a couple of wide receivers, a couple of tight ends. And so expect to see more of the same right here.
Yeah, I think so. And I think if you're the Beavers, getting points on this drive is huge. Kind of go slam the door that the Vikings opened at the end of that first half.
Jet Harris from Dixon is the quarterback. He scored on a 1-yard run. He hands off to Brown coming up the middle. Nice pursuit by the Vikings, and Elias is going to get maybe 2 yards and set up a 2nd and 8. Good play by the Vikings front line.
And I believe that was led by Marlee Alpati. That's a fun one to say, out of Sarah High School, linebacker, freshman. Sarah, of course, one of the great NorCal programs, or I think top program in NorCal the last 2-3 years, and was playing hard and making a big play in the back, or kind of at the line of scrimmage there for the Vikings.
Followed that from the right side, followed Brown and pulled him down for a gain of maybe 1, and the Beavers split 2 out to the left side on 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Ball on the 34-yard line. Turn around, that's going to be another handoff. A little more room there, and getting out over the 40 to the 41-yard line is Brown, and it'll be 3 yards to go for the first down on 3rd down.
And I think part of what makes Brown such a hard runner is how quickly he can get to his top speed. I mean, it almost seems like he can just go from standing still to a full sprint, and that's hard to bring down, especially to stand him up. He kind of falls forward every time.
A.J. Fast and Dylan Fear are both in tight ends for the Beavers. Yeah, he can also use that finesse as we saw in the first half too, Jordan. That makes him a really versatile back. So it's 3rd down. Call it 3 yards to go. The handoff straight up the middle. Good pursuit and good penetration by the Vikings, and they're going to drop the ball carrier for maybe a 1-yard gain, and that is Brown, and that will leave the Beavers 3 yards shy of the first down.
I think that was Alapati that made the contact right there, so big drive for him. I mean, 2 tackles right at the line of scrimmage. And now if you're the Vikings, you're feeling pretty good about that defensive stand right there.
And the Beavers' strength so far in this first half was kind of dominance at the offensive line, the point of contact. And now and Brown and Wallace had both been getting through the line without being touched. And that time, the Vikings with good penetration as the Beavers send one more player on for the punt team. That's Antonio Williams. Back to punt is Landon Richardson. His 3rd punt of the day. He's got time to release it. Kicks it up. Good-looking punt. Good fair catch call for at the 27-yard line of the Vikings, and that's where they take over. First down and 10, 11:18 to go. That was number 24, Amari Taylor, calling for the fair catch. And so, Jordan, we've traded kind of insignificant possessions here, and it's almost like we're starting over in the second half.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it, and I think this is kind of going to be a little bit of a chess match right now. Both coaches have made their halftime adjustments. They're kind of feeling out what the other one does. It's going to be interesting to see if the Beavers try to keep that defensive pressure on from the line and try to force kind of Boris to, make his reads or kind of rush them a little bit,
Right.
or if they're going to let them kind of sit back and throw and let their DBs do their thing, because these DBs had 2 picks last week against Sequoias.
So first down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 28-yard line. Beavers show pressure, then they come out. There's a little pitch coming around the right side for the Vikings, and it's down about the 33-yard line.
I believe that was David Piero.
Yeah, David Piero, number 3, who you and I were talking about off air. He caught 14 balls last week, and the Beavers have an injury on the field. Looks like number 33.
I believe that's Washington down.
Yellow Washington, and he'll be attended to. We talked about David Piero, who got that little pitch pass right there, Jordan. 14 catches, 134 yards and a score last week against Fresno, and this is the first time we've seen him.
Yeah, and I think if the Vikings want a chance to win this game, he's a guy that they're going to have to get involved a little bit more. And, I mean, obviously with Washington down right now, too, this is huge, too, because that is a big player to be missing for the Beaver
big part of the
defense.
And as he's down and they're attending to him, let's take a break here. We have 11:02 left to go, third quarter. Beavers on top, 14-6.
Hi, I'm Monica from Ace Body Shop in Telling. We are a family-oriented business. We've been in business for over 30 years. We are located downtown Lincoln at 333 Lincoln Boulevard in Lincoln, California. We do automotive repair and 24-hour towing. Our phone number is 916-645-2859, or you can find us on the web.
Washington gets up, holding his shoulder, Jordan, but he gets up, walks off the field. He'll be attended to. Meanwhile, the Vikings have the ball, second down. And 5 yards to go in the 33. Got to get to the 38. Boris in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off. Going around the left side.
That was actually number 6, Jason Wade, on the carry
Yeah,
there.
Jason Wade, the sophomore out of Antioch. So another new face that we've seen. We saw Piero, and then we see Jason Wade. And that'll send up third down now. And still about 5 yards to go. No gain on that play as Washington continues to be looked at. As you mentioned, Jordan, one of the standout players so far in the first couple of games. We mentioned a move from defensive lineman to linebacker, and it seemed to be really suiting his style. Third down, 5 to go. 2 receivers right, 2 left for the Vikings. Beavers pulling off on the pressure. Boros is back. He's got time. He's going to throw out to the sideline. One-arm catch out there. Did he make it? What a catch that was by number 3. That is David Piero makes the catch. But now we've got another player down for the Beavers on the far side.
And I believe that's Antonio Williams that's down for the Beavers right now on that far side. And it looks like they're not going to quite give him the first down on that catch.
I was wondering. It looked like
now
they're moving it. Yeah, they called it complete. He put the right hand up and pulled it down. It was a tremendous play, and that's going to get a first down for the Vikings. And again, the Beavers' second player down in the last 3 plays, and this one another standout, Antonio Williams.
I think this is just a cramp. It looks like they're stretching him out. And,
okay, well, that's good news.
And Boris on that play, I mean, it looked like he overthrew him, and just a great play by Piero to catch that one, snag it one-handed. And, you wonder where he was in that first half, but he's really making a name for himself here in the second half.
Well, you mentioned it. I think a quarterback who gets his confidence, it really looks like Boris is really throwing with a lot more confidence. And maybe it was that one play late in the second quarter that he made the nice throw for the big gain or whatever. And maybe the fact that he seems like he's getting a little bit more time. He is really stepping into it. And you're right, that one was a little overthrown, but he really rifled that one out there. And so if he's kind of feeling it, remember, as we said, he threw 22 of 38 last week, 219 and a pair of scores. He did have a pair of interceptions in that loss to Fresno, but he can fling it pretty good out there, and he's shown us that a couple of times. And that time, Piero, who has just made his first appearance in this game, made a great catch, and it got his team a first down. That'll be at the 30, looks like just at the 38-yard line of the Vikings, as we have a momentary timeout as the Beavers attending to another player.
And I believe it's actually Cade Dutton that's going to be the one coming off the field that was injured there.
Okay.
The freshman DB out of Folsom High School.
Okay, number 22, not number 23. So Dutton seems to be moving pretty well as he's trying to get off the field before they start the play, and so are the coaches. First down, ball at the 38 for the Vikings. There's a fake the handoff, and a lot of time for Boros. He's got a guy going out there, number 40, who almost made the catch and dropped the ball. That was a really nice play. That's Bradley Bittner, the sophomore tight end out of Alhambra. It seemed like he had it, Jordan, but the contact from the Beavers forced him to drop it.
Yeah, that was Edgar Montez coming in and just kind of, timing that one perfectly, swatting that ball away as soon as it went into Bittner's hands, and kind of good little reset for the Beavers, give you a little kind of room to breathe for a second, because a chunk play right there, I think they would have kind of found themselves in that same situation on their heels.
Yeah, Bittner no catches last week, so he was open on that play. Good play by the defense to force the drop, second down. Ball at the 38. Now Boros again just straight back to pass, hits the quick out down there on the left side, and I think that's going to be a gain of about 11 or 12. That will allow the Vikings to pick up another first down.
And that was Piera again on that one. Good job getting open, then finding the space, getting 5-6 extra yards after the catch.
A great point you made. Good job getting open, because he did work his way in there, and Boros again looking very confident, and I think some of it having to do with the fact he's got a nice pocket to throw the ball from. First down ball at midfield for the Vikings. Boros is going to throw that little flip again on a reverse coming around the right side. Nicely done by the Beavers. That is number 3, David Piero, who got that flip, but good pursuit. We talk about the pursuit of the Beavers, Jordan, that time holding him to about 3 yards.
Yeah, good job there with the Beavers, and that was a safety coming in, flying up. Jared Quenga from his position, sophomore out of Cosumnes Oaks. He's had a few big plays towards the line of scrimmage in that one, so he's a guy that's not afraid to come up and be aggressive on the defensive side.
Call it a gain of 2. It'll be second down and 8 yards to go. Ball just inside the 48-yard line. So the Vikings kind of feeling themselves a little bit, and they are moving the ball into Beavers territory. Have not run the ball in a couple of plays. They have a motion man coming left to right. Now back to passing in Boros. He looks up the middle. He's got a guy coming up to close the defense. It's open. Number 3, Piera's going to score the touchdown. 48-yard pass play from Boros to Piera. And again, Jordan, I've got to point to the fact that he has had a lot of time to throw, and he is making the throws.
He is, and he just hit him in stride right there. I mean, he feels comfortable throwing that ball to Piera, who just, beat his guy, found some space, and trots in for an easy touchdown there for the Vikings. And now all of a sudden you're cooking with gas a little bit, and this offense is humming.
Yeah, that was Cade Dutton again, I think, trying to come in and close that one from behind, couldn't make the play. And let's see if the Vikings, after they missed the first extra point, want to go for 2 here and try to tie this one up at 14. And I'd say the way their kicking game is going, they have a missed field goal and a missed extra point. I'd say probably a good idea to go for 2 in their spot. And they're feeling pretty confident about the protection they're giving their quarterback. And they'll come and do it, and that will be from the 3-yard line. They are in the shotgun, trying to tie this one up. So we might have had movement, but pulled back and hand off. It is a counter play into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
And I believe
Jason Wade on that one for the 2-point conversion. And so Vikings had tied it up at 14 here, 8:20 to go. And Jordan, after going out to a 14-0 lead, the Beavers, I don't know if they've let down, but the Vikings definitely have stepped up, and all of a sudden we got a new game.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a huge drive right here for the Beavers. You just got punched in the mouth. 2 out of the last 3 defensive drives, and if I'm Coach O, I'm looking at the offense going, how are you going to respond? And, I'm looking at the defense a little bit too, saying, hey, what do we need to fix? Because right now that, Boros to Piero connection is cooking, and you got to find out a way to stop that quick before the Vikings start to take control of this one.
Yeah, it's like the Vikings were hiding an ace up their sleeve for the first half, and they pulled it out to start the second half, and that is just obviously Piero is a good player, but he's also given Boros a lot more confidence because he's thrown that ball with a lot of purpose so far, and he made the perfect throw. He's made a couple of perfect throws, and he laid that one on the numbers to David Piero for the long touchdown, and eventually tying this ball game. We are tied at 14. And Jordan, the Beavers moved the ball in the first half using the running game, and I think that the Vikings front line has had a little more penetration and made some key stops on that last drive that the Beavers had. So AR will be looking to try to counter that. As you say, they take on the most important offensive possession of the game here so far. It's Michael Vaccaro doing the kicking, the kickoff for Diablo Valley. They're going from left to right. It is Isaiah Bickham and TQ Wallace who we haven't seen in the backfield for a little while, but he is back there to receive the kick. And the Vikings sky high now. They lost their first game 37-13. They were down 14-0. They've come back to tie this one at 14. Vaccaro's kick is going to go down to about the 9-yard line. It's picked up by Bickham. He goes up to the 20, the 25. Good pursuit, gets away from one, but he's dropped right around the 23-yard line. So again, Vikings with the special teams play, drops the Beavers at the 23. That's where they'll start this 1st and 10.
Yeah, and Bickham did a good job shaking off that first tackle because, 21, 22, 23-yard line, that's something that you can kind of work with, but you don't want to get stuck behind your 20. So good job not letting the Vikings kind of get some momentum there.
On the other side, he received the kick at the 9, and so you give the Vikings credit for coming down there and holding him because you figure you get a kick that far up, you're going to get it 25, 30-yard line. So here we go. First down, 23-yard line. 1st and 10, Harris, the quarterback. He's got 2 wide out to the left side, single back behind him. Baker goes in motion left to right. Leaves Anderson here, right? Turns around, hands it right off to Brown. He's going to be pushed back and stopped right about the 20-yard line. Great penetration again by the defensive line of the Vikings, and they're going to force the Beavers into a 2nd and long here, Jordan.
That was Wesley Garton kind of leading the charge there. He's made a few big plays in the backfield here. And now if you're the Beavers, what do you do here? It looks like they're bringing in TQ Wallace, maybe change the pace, maybe get a little more speed in there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this ball go in the air.
Yeah, maybe swinging around out of the backfield to TQ. We got Anderson up here. He seems to have one-on-one coverage here from the Vikings. That's Jeffrey Holden on him. Little pitch play. No, and it's a little reverse, but right in there again are the Vikings to drop Amari Baker back on the 10-yard line. A little double reverse action from ARC. Didn't fool the Vikings, and so far the Beavers are going the wrong way.
And that was Garton again making the play right there, and he almost forced a fumble too. He timed that hit perfectly on Baker, and that could have been a disaster. I mean, it still was not the ideal situation for the Beavers, but at least you're hanging on to the ball after what could have just been, the worst possible outcome.
Diablo Valley fans on the far side, usually just trying to get some shade, but they've got a little bit more excitement going on over there as their team has really put it together. Here starting out the 3rd quarter, they've tied it at 14 and forced the Beavers into a 3rd and 21 situation. Little short pass over here on the side to Wallace, gets by one, but the second defender is going to drop him right around the 15-yard line. The Beavers are going to have to punt.
Yeah, and it looks like the guy who kind of made that stop there for the Vikings
got a flag on the play. Let's see, the Beavers still bringing in their punt team, though, so I don't think it's going to change things. And that will be refused by Diablo Valley as they've got to feel pretty good about themselves. They come out here, and the Beavers in a possession that we said was a must possession for the Beavers to have, and they got nowhere, went backwards, ends up in a punt from Landon Richardson.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see the response from this. I mean, I know Coach O cannot be pleased with that drive, but now Diablo Valley's got the momentum. We'll see what they do with it.
Richardson puts the foot to it. It's going to be down about the 47. It's a late fair catch call, but it's a fair catch call nonetheless by number 24, Amari Taylor, and he's got great field position for the Vikings. They'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 47-yard line. And as we said, Beavers, we talked about the Vikings being on the defense, being on the field a lot in the first half, and Beaver situation, they just got off the field, and now they're right back on it. Let's see if we got another flag on the play here. Beavers could use a big penalty right here. It's going to be, it's going to be against the Beavers. A little bit of microphone. We need to get Stones McCoy on the microphone for the referee because we got every other word there.
And what's strange is Stones put on his resume expert lip reader from a distance. So I'm kind of wondering when he's going to step up and show us that.
When he's going to show us a lot of what he's put on his resume. That's a great point,
Jordan. He's just been in the
Jordan.
penthouse this whole game.
1st and 10. Let's see, they're going to go ahead and tack that on the end of the kick, that penalty. So that'll get the Vikings into Beaver territory at the 48-yard line. So a very confident Vikings offense comes on, led by Boros, the quarterback. He's got 3 to the left, and now 1 in motion coming left to right. Tilford backs off. The handoffs to Taylor. He slices through. He's going to get about a yard, maybe 2. A couple of Beavers on the tackle to set up 2nd and 8.
I think the main one on that one was Gavin Malloy. I think he kind of got that initial contact there. It actually looked like he might have come close to jarring that ball loose, but good job there by Taylor to just hang on to it and go down and live to fight another down.
Vikings in unfamiliar territory offensively, at least from the first. They can kind of do a couple of different things here. So they try to get Taylor slashing across from right to left. Good defensive play by Malloy and the Beavers. 2nd and 9. Ball on the 46-yard line. Burrows back to pass. He's got time. He's looking to the left flat. He's got a man open. It's completed over there, and it'll be good enough for a first down.
And it looks like that little comeback route's worked for him a few times. That was Miles Dixon right there. Just kind of parked the freshman receiver out of Bishop O'Dowd. He's kind of parked with no one around him, and quick, easy gain. I don't know if it's them running better routes or just drawing up better plays, but Boris right now is cooking.
Yeah, he's got time, and like you say, it looks like they are running better routes because that guy was open. Dixon open in between about 3 different Beavers to get the first down. So 1st and 10, ball on the 30. 5:15 to go, third quarter. Taylor, the running back. Boris is strict back to pass. A little bit of pressure. He's got a guy down the left sideline. He's open. The catch is made in the left corner. That's a touchdown for the Vikings. Boros again delivers it right on the money, Jordan, and the Vikings have taken the lead.
And that was DePiero, had a good amount of separation right there. Great route by him and Boris. Their chemistry is on fire. They're doing a secret handshake and everything now.
Well, I tell you, since Piero entered the game, this game has totally changed, absolutely. But also give credit to the Vikings offensive line. They've kept the defensive line of the Beavers off of the quarterback for the better part of a quarter right now. Vaccaro going to try the extra point. Low snap, he kicks it up, and it is touched, but it is good. So Vaccaro got that one through the goalpost, and all of a sudden, Jordan, it's almost like we blinked, woke up, and all of a sudden everything has changed in the world. 5:07 to go third quarter, and the Vikings lead this one 21-14.
Yeah, I think if you're AR, you need to find some way to stop the bleeding right here, whether it's, big play for a score or just defensively finding an answer for David Piero, which you're going to need to do if you want to win this game, because ever since he's come in, he has just flipped this game upside down, like you said, and they just don't seem to have an answer. He can attack you with the short game. He can attack you deep. They've got to figure something out and quick.
Yeah, last week, as we said, 14 catches, but 134 yards, so less than 10 yards a catch. But the catches the places he's getting open against the Beavers' defensive backfield, he's finding the holes, and they're down the field. It's not short gains at all, although he does have a couple of those little reverse pitches, which count as pass catches, I guess, which is how he got some of his yardage. But he has just changed the game, and he's changed Boros as well, and perhaps the offensive line as well. So Vikings, with a real flip of the switch, they lead this one 21-14. Beavers will send number 5, TQ Wallace, and number 21, Isaiah Bickham, back to return the kick from Michael Vaccaro, who's got himself a successful extra point. And he had to get a deflection, Jordan, to get it through the goalpost, but he did his job and put his team ahead by 7.
And hey, in the box score, it reads as a converted extra point. So.
Kick is good. That's exactly right. Kick is good. So the Vikings are understandably very excited on their sideline on the far side, the east side, and that kick will come down to the 5-yard line. It's Wickham again. He's going to cut it back to the 20, 25, gets away from 1. Nicely done. Good tackle by number 1, Severe Stills Bay, but a nice return by Guy Bickham. He got back to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, and Bickham again kind of making a little something work there. Vikings have good coverage on these special teams.
They do.
And, one thing that stood out to me, we haven't seen TQ Wallace really return any kicks yet. He had 31 yards per return last game, so maybe they saw something on film and said, hey, we're going to kick it away from him and give it to Bickham.
Right. First down, ball on the 29, 4:30 to go in the third quarter. Harris, the quarterback for the Beavers. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to look to throw the slant off the hands of the wide receiver and falls harmlessly to the ground. It could have been much worse than that. Amari Baker was the intended receiver, but that ball a little bit behind him and off his hands.
And that was Wesley Garton again kind of in the coverage on that. I don't know if he got a hand on that or the receiver did. Someone tipped it. It looked like also number 55, Santino Acevedo, there on that. So the linebackers for the Vikings really making their presence known here in the second half.
Well, Beavers trying those slants, and that's where the linebackers live. Second down, 10 yards to go. Well, the whole team's been lifted by what they've been able to do with the ball, especially starting at the end of that second quarter. Anderson in motion, a quick pass out to the right side, and it's too low, and I think that's going to be incomplete. Open over there on the right side, but just a little bit too low, and that is Baker again, and it's going to come up third down.
Yeah, and that was Baker over there in that flat. And like you said, he was open, and they were kind of designing that to get him the ball in some space, see if he can get that for another 5-6 yards. And instead, now you're in another 3rd and long and in danger of going 3 and out, second time this first half.
And you've got a very enthusiastic Vikings defense. Let's see if maybe they count on the fact the Vikings will come after Jet Harris here, although what they're doing is working pretty well so far. They don't. Thrown on the left side. There's a catch by Anderson over the top of the defender and a first down. And they were all over that one with Jeffrey Holden. He had great coverage. The ball thrown in a perfect spot, and Anderson comes down with it.
It also went through Holden's hands and
Yeah,
right into
it really
Anderson's.
did.
I mean, credit to Harris for how hard he threw that ball, and that's exactly what the Beavers needed. You kind of feel like you deflated their defense a little bit with that one thing they were getting off the field. Now you got to move it, keep them marching, keep them on their heels.
You got to see why Anderson has been so impressive. I mean, he can go long, he can go deep, and he can come back and make the tough catches on the sideline. Big first down for the Beavers. They have it at the 47. Turn around, handoff straight up the middle, and shut down almost immediately for the Beavers. Number 44, Michael Estrada, did the defensive work on the Beavers. That is Brown with a carry. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage and he's going to lose a yard, so it'll be 2nd and 11 for the Beavers.
And Estrada, the sophomore, Archbishop Riordan, San Francisco, 5'11", 265.
Wow.
So short and stocky and making a play. I mean, was basically meeting Elias Brown with Elias Brown.
Archbishop Riordan, a very tough school in the Bay Area. There's a second down. It's a fake handoff. The throw is going to go to the corner to Baker. Baker goes up to try to make the play. I think it's knocked away by the Vikings. And it'll set up third down. We've got a penalty on the play, though. Throw him down back here at about the 43-yard line.
And I know that Harris got hit as he threw, but it didn't look like it was late enough for it to be a roughing or anything.
Harris had a guy short. He opted to go for Baker down the sideline and knocked away by the Vikings.
I think that was Garton on the pass breakup, too.
Garton has been all over the place for the Vikings, and they're marching like it's going to go against the Beavers here. I do wish they would give us a little bit of idea what's going on here. Now it's going to stay the same place.
I believe it was an ineligible receiver downfield.
Yeah, I did not see anybody make that gesture. I must be looking at the wrong referee. So they're going to decline that, set up a 3rd and 11. Ball on the 46 of the Beavers. 3:09, time ticking away here in the third quarter. Harris checking out with his coaches on the sideline, getting the right play call. He's got trips to the right, single receiver left. He's going to have to run it. He comes up the middle of the 50, the 45. He's hit hard at the 45, and he's going to go down and set up a 4th down and about 2 yards to go. And it looked like Harris made up his mind very quickly, Jordan. He wanted to run that one.
Yeah, and that was Charles Cox with the big hit there on Harris. Kind of the first time we've seen Harris run the ball. And I agree with this decision. I think if you're the Beavers, you need to run this ball. Not run this ball, but you need to get this first down.
You need to go for it. They brought in Fear and A.J. Fast, the two more tight ends. Brown behind center, or behind the quarterback, that is Harris in the shotgun. He's got Breaker to the left. Might try to pull him off size. Perhaps he's going to hand that one. We got a whistle, and a flag is called. It is a false start on the Beavers, and that's going to make it difficult, Jordan. I know you're going to stick to your guns here and say, no, they're not going to do it. Now at 4th and 7, the ball back to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, I agree with this. I think you need to punt this now, and that's another backbreaker for the Beavers, and you're giving the ball back to a team that's offense is feeling unstoppable right now.
They really are. They've got a guy with Piero who's changed the whole chemistry of their offense, and Boros now has time to throw. He has somebody to throw to. So hopefully Landon Richardson can pin them back here as he goes back for his 4th punt. A little high snap, and he gets it away easily, and it's off the side of his foot again. Hopefully he'll get a good roll. It rolls down by the 20. Rolls over the 20 down toward about the 17-yard line, and that's where the Vikings will pick it up. So they kind of won the field position right there, getting the ball that well in the 17, although a good roll for the Beavers.
Yeah, definitely lucky bounce there. Kind of overcame what was a bad punt, and really just, to be frank, in the second half, nothing is going right for AR right now.
And we got Jared Quenga, number 10. To your point, Jordan, he is down, looks like, hopefully just a cramp there. He was coming off after that punt coverage. and he is down in the middle of the field now. So really nothing going well for the Beavers since basically the midpoint of the second quarter here today.
Yeah, and they've got to, like we said, figure out something fast. And really they need to figure out an answer for David Piero because he has just torched them so far in this second half. And I don't know if you can afford to go down by 2 scores right now at this point in the game with the way Diablo Valley's defense has really stepped it up in the second half.
Absolutely. Cuenca looks like he is going to be okay. He gets up and walks off under his own power. And, Jordan, I think the way you stop Piero is the same way you stop any offensive passing attack. You put more pressure on the quarterback because Burroughs has had basically an open lane, not necessarily always a clean pocket, but he's always had visibility. He can find his receiver, and he knows exactly where he wants to look. So first down for the Vikings. Ball on the 18-yard line. Make it. They've got 2 wide receivers out to the right here. 2:05 to go in the third quarter. Teddy Burroughs, the quarterback out of California High School. Beavers showing some pressure. Vikings overloaded to the right side. Handoff up the middle. Getting through is the running back getting a first down over the 32-yard line. And right up the middle, the quick hitter for, it looked like, is that number 6, Jason Wade with a carry.
Yeah, I believe that was Wade again, and I think everyone's zeroing in on Piero right there, especially when he goes into motion. They decide, hey, we'll go with the handoff and big chunk play.
They've had a couple of different running backs. Taylor, they've had Miller, they've had, now it's Wade. And he's get a first down on that carry all the way up outside the 30-yard line. So a gain of about 13. There's a quick pass out to the right side. Good defensive pressure by the Beavers. Dancing around a little bit there is number 3. That is David Piero, and he's going to be down at about the 34. Give him a gain of 3, but well defended by ARC.
Yeah, and that was kind of the pursuit that we saw in the first half, and I think it was Montez that ended up finally making that tackle. But, good job by AR to kind of recognize that play early and get guys there.
Get him a gain maybe of 4 up to the 35-yard line. So second down. One minute to go, third quarter. Trying to drive the Beavers offside. Almost worked, and they're going to do a quick handoff this time to Wade again. He gets out to almost the 40, maybe to the 39, and he has dropped. Big third down coming up now, Jordan, for the Vikings.
And that was Cuenca right there that kind of delivered that hit that stopped Wade a little bit from falling forward and making this maybe a 3rd and 1. And now an interesting choice if you're the Vikings. Do you go through the air? Do you go on the ground? It feels like both have been pretty effective so far.
Yeah, you had a pretty reliable option in Piero to get yourself 2 or 3 yards. It hasn't failed you yet. And you are running the ball a little bit better because you've got that threat of the pass. So third down, a big one here, 2 yards to go. Ticking down here in the third quarter. Vikings lead at 21-14. And go with the handoff to Wade. He's got an opening on the left side, cuts back at the 45, going to get all the way up to the 49-yard line. And so this third quarter is going to tick down with 6 seconds to go. That is a first down for the Vikings, and they'll have 10 yards to go on their own 49-yard line.
How about that block by Mason Neubauer, the sophomore O-lineman out of Chico, 6'6", 320, paving the way for Wade right there, making a big hole, and then kind of the lead blocker on that whole play.
And that'll end the third quarter. We'll go to the fourth quarter here at Beaver Stadium. Our score, Diablo Valley 21, American River 14.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Placer County's best-kept secret is back for another exciting summer at historic McBean Stadiums. Loaded with fun for the whole family, local beer, wine, and eats. Fireworks, giveaways, theme nights, kids zone, and more. Come join in the fun and enjoy small-town baseball with Major League Entertainment. Tickets on sale now at LincolnPotters.com.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Fourth quarter action, Vikings with the ball. Vikings with the lead, 21-14. Mark the Phantom Low here with Jordan Georgeson. And a big first down here for the Vikings. Turn around, they're going to hand it off to Wade. And this time he's going to be stopped by host of American River College Beavers to set up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see who got that tackle. It looked like just a giant group of them. It looks like 47. Montez was one kind of leading the charge, and I think that's first play for negative yards that the Vikings have had here in this second half.
Yeah, the Beavers offense haven't come up with any big plays. It looks like it might be incumbent on the Beavers defense to try to do that, but the Vikings are having a lot to say about that. 2nd down, 10 yards to go, ball on the 48. 2 left, 2 right for Teddy Boros. He's going to turn. He's going to hand it right up the middle, though. And nice spin move by Taylor. He'll get down to about the 45, maybe the 46. That's Amari Taylor, number 24. And he'll be flagged down to the 45. And, Jordan, that's what they needed on 2nd down. You get about 5 or 6. You got 4 yards to go for the first down on 3rd down.
Yeah, now you made this 3rd and manageable. And, again, the way they're running the ball and throwing the ball gives yourself some options, and it keeps AR guessing.
Absolutely right. Ball marked on the 46. That was Amari Taylor, as we said, on the carry. He's out of Clayton Valley High School, a sophomore. So 3rd down, 5 yards to go, ball on the 46. Boros. Then we're going to have a movement. We had movement, but we also had, they're going to call it on the Vikings, and so it's going to be 5 yards back, and that's a big move right here, Jordan. It makes it 3rd and 10, and you figure maybe Diablo Valley figures they can use 4-down territory, but you would think that is going to cause them to have to go to the air.
Yeah, I think that one is. And the other thing, too, is I think that kind of takes them out of 4-down territory a little bit, because even though you've been stopping them, you don't want to give them the ball in plus territory.
Would you think if you're the defensive coordinator, you'd say, hey, watch out for number 3?
I think I would let my guys know that at this point.
3rd down, 10 yards to go. Got to get to the 41-yard line. They're on their own 49. Boros back to pass. He's got pressure coming from the side, going after him. He's going to run away from it, throws it down the sideline to nobody. So that time they got the pressure on him, did the Beavers, and they forced Boros out of the pocket. He could not find a receiver, and that's a big stop for the Beavers.
And that was the first time we've really seen that type of pressure from the Beavers in the second half. That was Jonathan Correa chasing him down there. Again, the true freshman making a name for himself, and there you go. If you're the Beavers, that's a stop you needed. Now you need something big to spark this offense and, capture that momentum, get it back on your sideline.
Jacob Johnson back to punt. Yeah, you get a guy who makes the play, not only make big plays, but make big plays when your team needs them, and that's just what he did on that one. So Johnson, who's been kicking the ball well for the Vikings, he's got to make him down on the 12-yard line. It's a nice knuckleball kick. He's going to receive it at the 12 and go backwards. And again, Jordan, we've talked a couple of times about the special teams. That was a beautiful punt by Johnson, hanging it up in the air, but that Viking special team down there right on the money.
Yeah, Journey McCoy, the one down there laying the hit, the De La Salle product. 2nd or 3rd time we've said his name, and I think all have been on special teams in this, as we have another Beaver down there cramping. I believe that's Kasai Cox, the freshman DB out of Vanden.
So he is going to be attended to, and then ends up with the ball being down at the 9-yard line. So a 42-yard punt for Johnson, but perfectly placed, and as we said, just perfect. He got enough air underneath it, so his gunners could get down there and make the play. And again, the Beavers kind of lucky they didn't cough that one up, as that was a tough hit by the Vikings.
And, yeah, sorry, we're getting confirmation that was Cade Dutton that's actually out there cramping, but yeah, Phantom, I agree. And to your credit, too, like you said, the special teams in this one making a huge difference. I know last year we were used to, a game like this, it was kind of an opponent lingering around or maybe taking the lead. You got, this is where you got your big play from a Robert Freeman that would have a 65-yard punt return to get you into the red zone or something like that. And, we haven't really seen that from the Beavers yet today, and we've really seen the other team, the Vikings, making their mark in the special teams in this one. So the question is, who's going to step up? Who's going to be your Freeman and get you that explosive play that you need and, move this ball down the field and kind of flip this back onto your side?
Yeah, and if you're a Beaver fan, you say, well, Jaden Anderson has got that. He's got that MO, and he definitely does. But if you're thinking about special teams, covering stuff, they've been good. They've missed a field goal and an extra point, have the Vikings, so they could easily have gotten this one out a little bit further. So here comes the Beavers, 1st and 10, ball on their own 9. Harris is going to turn around. He's going to hand it off, but again, good penetration by the Vikings. Brown turns it back, and he's going to get out to about the 11-yard line, and he's going to get that totally on his own, Jordan. He could have been dropped for a loss.
I think that might have actually been Wallace on that, kind of making the big cut there that we've seen him do a few times, and good job by him turning that into a positive gain. And keeping those legs churning and kind of getting another yard or two there.
And TQ Wallace, you're right, it was TQ, but obviously he just called for the trainer to come out. He is down on the ground. So the Beavers are, suffering, and hopefully it's just cramps for TQ, but the Beavers have suffered. About a half dozen guys have been down so far today with the problem. And again, he made a nice run to get 2 yards out of it, but it puts his team in a 2nd and 8 and the ball in the 11-yard line.
Yeah, he took a big hit on that one. It looks like this might just be a cramp, so hopefully that's all it is.
And if you're Coach O, if you're the offensive coordinators of the Beavers, I mean, what are you dialing up? I mean, your running game has been good all day, but I mean, you got to give credit to the line of Diablo Valley. They've really been getting good penetration and keeping your running back from really getting the lanes they got in the first half.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if you're the Beavers, you need to chart something up. I mean, get these tight ends involved again. They were a big part of this first half, and I know there were a few drop passes and miscues, but I think these quick passing attacks and getting these tight ends involved, and then getting Amari Baker involved. I mean, he's been, a guy that we haven't really talked about much today.
All right, so Brown is in there now to take over for TQ Wallace, who came off under his own power. It's a 2nd and 9 at the 11-yard line of the Beavers. Jet Harris is your quarterback. He's back. He's looking to the right. He's got a guy open. That's a tight end, number 80, going across the 15. Let's see where they mark it out. I think he might be a little short of the first down. That's Gavin Correa with another catch. And as you said, Jordan, they're getting the tight ends involved, but that one just a little bit short of the first down.
Yeah, but either way, that still makes this a good situation. It looks like Hakimi Anderson's going to be coming in at running back here, and possibly never mind. It looks
he
like
came in and then came back out, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they gave him the first down, so I think that kind of changed the play call a little bit.
Absolutely, and I thought they marked him short, so I'm a little bit surprised, but the ball is at the 19-yard line, so 9 plus 10, 19. Okay, I'll give it to him. And open on the flat that time. Correa was wide open, so good play call by the Beavers. First down. They trail it by 7. Turn around, hands it straight out to Brown. He's got a little bit of a hole, kicks it outside, 25-30, 35-40, 45-50. One guy has a chance to chase him. Brown looks behind him, keeps going the dive, not in time. Touchdown, Beavers! 81 yards. Elias Brown, and I think, Jordan, that's what you said the team needed.
Yeah, they needed someone to step up and make that explosive play. And why not Elias Brown? Have a day, young man. I think give him the oxygen mask. That's a big boy to be running that fast. And he turned on the burners there.
He turned on the burners. He turned around and looked and saw the guy where he was. He goes and just gave himself a little bit, just enough to get over that line. The dive by the defensive back just a little bit too late. And the Beavers now within 1. And Cameron Smith will try to tie this game up. And this place has just changed. Again, the switch has been flipped, this time the other way. Smith 2 for 2 so far on the PATs. He gets that one and splits the uprights right through the hold again by the quarterback, Julian Vasquez. And so everything changes, Jordan. The complexion of the whole game changes 21-21. And now we are tied, and here come the Vikings. And again, I don't think the Vikings have lost any of their confidence offensively. The Beavers now just kind of put a new spin on this game.
No, and I agree. I think the Vikings still have their offensive confidence, but you could just tell looking at both sidelines, the body language on American River sideline has changed significantly. And this is kind of one of those situations where if this was a boxing match, maybe it's still an even fight, but AR just landed a gut punch, and now you have a chance to really swing this back into your favor here with a big defensive stand.
And we've been saying that the Diablo Valley linemen have been getting good penetration. That time they didn't. Give credit to the offensive line. They gave Brown a little bit of a hole, and Elias came through. And the more I think about it, the more I think you're right, Jordan. He came out got to the sidelines. He turned on at 6 foot, 230. He turned on the afterburners. I got some fast guys out there, and he outran everybody to the corner.
Yeah, and I mean, as a bigger guy myself, I like to think that's what I look like when I'm running, but I got tired just watching him.
No, that's not what you. No. I don't. I just want to stop that right away.
You don't think
I don't
look
want
like
you?
that?
No, I don't want to even introduce that.
I think I could.
All right, so 11:46 to go. We got a new ball game at 21. It's Cameron Smith going to do the kicking off. Taylor and Davis have been the two back, but they haven't got a chance to put any returns into play so far as Smith has found the end zone with all of his kickoffs. Cameron out of Del Oro High School. He is a freshman. So let's see who gets the spark here. Beavers obviously with the big one on the long run by Brown. That one's not going to get to the end zone. It's going to be out, and it's going to be, it rolls into the corner, I think, which is huge for the Beavers. It is a touchback, and that's a difference of about 10 yards right there, Jordan. That one got me a little bit tight in the throat on that one.
Yeah, it looked like that was going out of bounds. He gets a good bounce, and I don't know if that was by design or not, but great job there by Smith. And now that's the difference between, like you said, an 80-yard field for the Vikings to have to work with rather than, a 65-yard field.
Yeah, put it on the 25-yard line now, and here come the Vikings offense, which starting in the middle of the second quarter has been very impressive. The quarterback is Teddy Boris out of California High School. Sophomore, 6'2" and 200 pounds. He's got 2 out to the left. He's got 2 out to the right. He's got 1 running back behind him in the shotgun. He's going to go straight back to pass. Beavers trying to put some pressure. He flings it over to the side. Nice catch over there right on the first down marker by the Vikings, and they'll get themselves, let's see, you're going to mark it a little bit short. I think it'll just be a 9-yard gain.
And that was Miles Dixon that climbed the ladder to get that, and a good job by Tilford to kind of hit him, try to, jar it loose or maybe even force him out of bounds, but Dixon hangs on.
Dixon with a couple of nice grabs in this one, sets up a 2nd and 1 at the 34-yard line. Quick throw out to the left side is caught out here by Piero. He is hit at the 37, makes it up to the 39. They're going to mark it at the 40. That's going to be a first down for the Vikings.
Yeah, and again, just giving Piero the ball in some space and letting your playmakers make plays, and he did that there. Turning, Beavers had good pursuit again there, but looks like 8-9 yard gain.
Yeah, he's listed 5'10", 185. Doesn't look that tall from up here, but 185 he showed because he broke a couple of tackles on that one standing on his feet. And set up a first down at the 40-yard line. Under 11 to go here. Vikings and Beavers tied at 21. Boros with a single running back behind him. He's going to fake it to him. He still has it, but he's going to be swarmed under by number 97. That is Jonathan Correa. And now we're going to have a penalty, though, after the play made back there. Let's see what the call is. This is a huge call because that was a huge play by Correa.
If they're going to call a roughing here, I just don't understand how you can call that.
He came in, he was all over him, and the guy ducked away, and he reached back and got him. And that, I think, is what they're going to call. Yes, they will. They're going to call face mask on the play, and that's going to put, instead of a loss back inside the 30, is going to put them on the 47-yard line, their own 47, and set up a first down. Actually, it's not going to be a first down. And they're going to remark it, I guess. I don't understand this. They mark it and they go back and they're going to mark it from the line of scrimmage, it looks like, and take it 15 yards to the 45. So the infraction occurred way back inside the 30, but they mark it from the line of scrimmage, and the 15-yard gain is going to put the Vikings 1st and 10 on the Beavers 45. A huge play in this game as we go down to 10.5 to go. Boros with Wade, the running back, to his right. He's got 3 out to the right. He's been throwing the quick screens. He's going to, well, it's a good thing for Boros that was blown dead because it was number 40. That is Colin Bray out of Placer High in Auburn was coming in unabated as Boros did the fake, Jordan, and he was going to try to bootleg to the right, and he wasn't going to be able to.
Yeah, Colin Bray went in there unblocked, and that's huge to kind of get those yards back if you're the Beavers, especially when you just had those kind of 15 marched off. And how you respond to this is going to be huge because I've seen teams not agree with the call, and it deflates them. We're going to see what this defense is made of right here.
Bray was out last year at ACL. He's making his first appearance of the season here, and Coach O raved about Colin. There's the quick pass across the middle. He got open. Piero is going to come back. He's got room at the 35-30. He keeps going to the 20. He's inside the 20 and finally dragged down at the 15-yard line for the Vikings. A big play, and he'll set him up 1st and 10 from the 15.
That was Brevin Amiga with the touchdown-saving tackle right there, and I believe he's the one that's down. I think he got kind of kicked when he was going for that one.
Yeah, he dragged him down from behind, might have got the foot there, and he is down. But a big play by Piero, who got that one he was kind of hiding in the middle of the field, made the catch, and then made a great run and took it all the way down to the 15-yard line to set the Vikings up. 10:02 to go in this one as they attend to Brevin Amiga. We're going to take a step away for just a minute here with our score. Beavers 21.
from Ace Body Shop in Telling. We are a family-oriented business. We've been in business for over 30 years. We are located downtown Lincoln at 333 Lincoln Boulevard in Lincoln, California. We do automotive repair and 24-hour towing. Our phone number is 916-645-2859, or you can find us on the web.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Brevin Amigo walks off under his own power. David Piero also was shaken up on the play. He walked off under his own power to the other bench, of course. First down ball on the 16-yard line for the Vikings. We are tied at 21, inside 9:50 to go here in the ball game. Teddy Boros with Jason Wade, and now we've got whistles already. So we're going to have a timeout, and that's a little. I mean, we did have kind of a stoppage there, but they're coming out. Maybe they didn't like what they saw. So Jordan, we had the Beavers took care of this game for about the first 26 minutes, and then all of a sudden here come the Vikings coming down from 14 down to ultimately take the lead in the second half at 21-14. Then Elias Brown electrified this place with an 81-yard run to tie it up, and now the Vikings are coming back and they are threatening. So I mean, it's one team and then the other, one team and then the other, and it might be whoever has the ball last, but right now the Beavers need to come up with a big play.
Yeah, they do, and I think the essential thing is try to kind of put the Vikings in an uncomfortable position. You can tell they're not comfortable with their kicking game. Put them in a spot where maybe they have to decide, do we want to go for this on a 4th and 7 or kick a field goal, and try to kind of light a fire under them a little bit.
Yeah, and the penalty was marked up a couple of minutes ago. That was marked up from the line of scrimmage because it was a face mask and not a personal foul. So here we go. First down, ball in the 16. Quick pass out to the right side to Amari Taylor. He is dragged down over there. A tremendous defensive play by the Beavers for a loss of 2.
And I think that was Marquay King Johnson on it, the freshman DB out of Grant High School. The guy who had an interception last week for the Beavers. So big defensive play there, and that's how you want to start this first down, tackle for a loss.
A loss of 2, second down and 12 yards to go. That was Amari Taylor on the reception, trying to take advantage of a quick hitter, but King was all over it. Boros is going to hand it off to Taylor, and he is dropped right away by number 95. That is Malachi Red.
Malachi Red coming out of there like a cannonball, shot out of a cannon, just unblocked, flying in, making a big play in the backfield. This is what you want. You're making Diablo Valley a little uncomfortable here on this possession.
I never try to correct you, Jordan, but if you have a cannonball, it's going to be shot out of a cannon. That's what makes it a cannonball.
Some say.
Well,
there's no.
All right, third down.
Things.
Third down and 14 yards to go. Boros back to pass. He's looking to the right corner of the end zone. It's going to be too far. He had a guy trying to get open there, but really good defensive play by the Beavers in the backfield. Ken Tilford was guy. And now, Jordan, like you say, they have made the Vikings think about it, and now it looks like, let's see if they're going to bring on Michael Vaccaro to try the field goal.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting because Vaccaro, like you said, he missed that field goal earlier. I know it was one that he kind of had to pull. This is a different angle, but he had the extra point block. Another one they got a hand on, so I don't know if they're confident in this decision.
38-yard attempt for Michael Vaccaro, who has net to hit a field goal. He had plenty of room on the last one. He kicks that one up, and it is no good. Misses that one as well to the right side. And again, he had plenty of leg on that one. Jordan had plenty of leg on the first one, but you called that one. You said you got to make him do something with the kicking game. But the way they did it was make 2 individual great defensive plays.
Yeah, and that was a huge stand for the Beavers. That felt like that first drive of the game when they held them pointless. And again, they came out after that and they went down and took the lead. So got to go down and do the same. 8:20 left. We've seen them drive methodically. If they can go down, eat some time off this clock and take the lead, that could be, the final blow that they need.
Yeah, and nobody's saying the 38-yard field goal is easy, but, I mean, the Vikings have left a couple of points up on the board. For all that they've come back, they've got to be a little disappointed right now. But the Beavers with the ball, 21-21, first down the ball at the 26-yard line, make it the 27. Hand off to Brown. He's trying to cut it back. He does. He gets to the 25, so it was at the 22. Now he's at the 25, a gain of about 3 yards. So I kind of a come down 78 yards from his last run, but a good start to get this going. Second down and 7 yards to go.
Yeah, and I think right now if you're the Beavers, again, you're kind of fighting two battles. Obviously, you need points, but I think you're also staring at that clock going, hey, we want to chew this a little bit, but also move the ball.
You want to get your defense a little bit of rest because they've been working hard this second half. Second down, ball at the 25. Jet Harris is your quarterback. He's going to turn around. He's going to hand it to Brown again. He's going to get through the left side over the 30, out to the 35, and that's going to be a first down for the Beavers. And, Jordan, that's exactly what you're asking for.
Yeah, and if you're Brown, that's kind of what you do. You eat away at them, and this is the time in the game where a guy like Elias Brown is going to feast. You know, their defense is tired. Just start pounding them and run it right through their face.
Brown comes out. TQ Wallace comes back in. Good to see him. He was down with the cramp a while ago, and he provides a little more speed, a little more shiftiness than Brown. And just a change of pace, which might be problematic for Diablo Valley. First down, ball on the 35. Harris is going to move Wallace up next to him at the 30-yard line. He's got a single receiver out here to the right side. He's going to fake. He's going to look to the right, but there's pressure from Garton. He gets away. He throws it up in the air, and that guy's being held as he tried to get it to Correa, and he was being held by number 4, Anthony Henry, and it's going to be a flag on the play.
Yeah, and that's one thing you can't do right now if you're the Vikings. You know, they're already going to start kind of marching a little bit in the way they run their offense. They're going to pick the plays they're most comfortable in. Don't give them free yards, especially on a play that you look like you could have had them stop.
Yeah, and you had the play right in front of you there. You can see the ball is overthrown. You can see that the quarterback is under pressure, and they shut off the first receiver that Harris wanted to throw to, and Correa was out there and was being held by Henry, so that's going to be a 10-yard penalty. And that will give a first down to the Beavers now at the 45-yard line, their own 45-yard line, with 7 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the game.
And even if you don't, hold him there and he gets it to Correa on the safety valve, that's still maybe a 3-4 yard gain tops.
Yeah, exactly. So first down. Beavers with a receiver out to right. They're going to hand that ball off to the left side. Got opening again, the 50 down to the 45-yard line, and that close to another first down for the Beavers. TQ Wallace on the carry.
And all of a sudden this Beaver offensive line is getting a little more of a push, so I don't know what's gotten into them or if they saw a matchup that they like, but it feels like these last two drives, this line all of a sudden has got some new energy.
Wallace credited with a gain of 9, so that'll put the ball at the 46 of the Vikings. Still a yard short of a first down. It sets up 2nd and 1. And we're down 6:30 to go in this game. Beavers with 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Single back behind Jet Harris, who stands at the 50-yard line. He's going to turn. He's going to look to pass. That's good blocking right, Baker. And now here comes Harris is going to throw. He hits it, and it popped off, and it's intercepted by the Vikings. And he's got it wide open down the left side. That's number 1, Saphir Stills Bay, and he's got himself a Diablo Valley touchdown. And all of a sudden, the tables have turned again, and it's 27-21, although we're going to have, let's see what the referee is calling back here. As Saphir Stills Bay got the pass, which was bobbled, picked it up, went down the left side, and that's going to be, it looks like a touchdown for Diablo Valley.
Yeah, and I think this play is going to stand.
I know there was a Beaver player with his helmet off. He was going to try to make the tackle, and he pulled back because I think probably if he tries to make the tackle, that's a penalty right there. But it's a touchdown, Saphir Stills Bay, the freshman out of Oakland Tech, and that's a big play in a game of big plays. All of a sudden, Vikings back on top, 27-21, 6:08 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, another way to flip the momentum right there. I mean, it felt like AR is moving the ball. They're around midfield. Feels like this could be the put-away drive, and then all of a sudden you go and bring that momentum all the way back to your sideline. And again, you can hear a pin drop on that AR sideline right now.
Yeah, and Harris would move down to the pocket. He was under a little pressure. He found the guy, threw it, bounced off him, and Bay was right there. And Vaccaro will go for the extra point to try to make it 28-21. Looks like there will be a penalty. It'll be enforced on the kickoff. As I got kickoff from the microphone there. Again, we need Stones McCoy down there. Actually, we need Raleigh the engineer to go down and take care of that microphone that the referee has. So here's Vaccaro, very important extra point here. Puts it up, and he puts it through. So the Vikings turn the tables again. They take the lead. It is 28 Vikings, 21 Beavers, 6:08 to go. And Jordan, it does take a lot of analysis to figure out what the Beavers need to do. They need to do what they were doing on that last drive before they weren't doing it anymore.
Yeah, and that last play was just the series of unfortunate events. Harris found a way to escape that pressure.
Yeah.
He makes the right throw, and it just bounces off the receiver's hands and into the hands of another one. I mean, a disaster of a play, but I think the important message of your coach, is say, hey, you guys were doing everything right. You just had some bad luck and a bad bounce. Go keep doing what you were doing and tie this game.
Yeah, Stills Bay, one of the guys from the Vikings that's been, we've been saying his name a lot today. He's been outstanding along with Wesley Garton, the two that really have been standouts for the Vikings today. They lead this one 28-21, 6:08 to go. They'll come out for the kickoff. The Beavers have been putting back Isaiah Bickham and TQ Wallace to return kicks. And Wallace looks like he is going back there, but this time it looks like Amari Baker is going to go back with TQ Wallace. So Baker, as you said, haven't said his name as far as, making plays that much here today, and he made some last week and made some last year. So a guy that maybe the Beavers trying to get involved, and the penalty will bring the kickoff all the way up to the 49, make that 50-yard line. Sometimes the referees looked a little too happy to be marching off penalties. I think it's a power thing. I don't know exactly what it is.
I have a theory that a lot of them were in marching band, at a young age.
That.
Maybe they like to march.
I like that a lot. So kicking off
structure
from the 50-yard line will be Michael Vaccaro. As I love your theory. That's a tremendous theory.
I haven't proven it yet,
no.
but I feel like it's probably true. You don't need to look into that.
We don't need to prove it.
No,
not at all.
It's fact now. It's not even
exactly.
a theory anymore.
So Vaccaro to kick it off. He's going to put it deep, and that's going to be out of the back of the end zone. And that will be 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Beavers. Vaccaro had a De La Salle as well, the sophomore, 6'2", 200. Left-footer does the kicking for the Vikings, who now enjoy a 7-point lead as we go down here. Till 6:08 to go in this one.
And again, to your point, Phantom, those two missed field goals are huge because that's the difference of this being 34-21, feeling like it's out of reach right now.
Absolutely. A missed extra point, 2 missed field goals. I think the first one was about 28 yards. The next one was 38 yards. So here's Harris and the Beavers offense. Baker is out to the right. Jaden Anderson out to the left. The single back behind Jet Harris out of Dixon High School. Turns around. He's going to hand it off. Trying to find a hole and finding one is Brown. He gets through. He's going to gain about 11, and that's exactly the play. And to your point, Jordan, you keep doing what you've been doing. You were doing pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. You can't let, a bad luck play kind of derail this game. And if you can go down and do what you've been doing this game, there's no reason it shouldn't be tied at the end of this drive.
Big gain for Brown. Give him a gain of 13. Ball on the 38-yard line. Beavers taking a lot of time to get the next play from the sideline. They got 2 wide receivers out to the right. That's Anderson and Baker. They are a power right formation. A handoff to Brown. He's going to try the left side. He cuts it back. Good defensive pursuit. And a flag is flying through. And that's the one thing as a Beaver supporter, you don't want to see the yellow flag coming out on a play like that.
No, you do not, especially where it was thrown, because these refs are pretty accurate with where they throw their flags.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this one's going to be coming back.
Brown ran away from where the Beavers were all massed, and that's a holding call against the Beavers. So that is going to be 15 yards. Going to take them from the 38 back to about the 20. It's 10 yards, excuse me. So back to the 28. They need to get to the 48 for a first down. So that'll set up 1st and 20 with the ball on the 28.
And at some point soon, you're going to have to start putting the ball in the air if you're the Beavers.
Yeah, you had the good play on the ground, but once you get something that moves you back like that, that changes the composition of your drive. And I think the Vikings know that. Let's see if they try to bring some pressure against Jet Harris, who rolls to his right. He kicks it off for Baker. Baker has it, tries to cut it back, gets away from 1, but he's dragged down right about the 40 or 41-yard line for a pretty nice gain and gets him back competitive here on 3rd down.
Yeah, definitely. And again, a guy that really needs to get involved if you're going to have a shot on this one, Amari Baker. And now, you're sitting here with 2nd and, I guess just the equivalent of you got a 2-yard run on 1st down.
Yeah, basically ball on the 39-yard line. You need to get to the 48. So 2nd and 9. Harris is going to turn. He's going to hand it off. Brown coming through, gets through, runs into his own guy, but gets down to the 44-yard line. It'll set up a third down and about 4 here. And what you have to feel, Jordan, is going to be 4-down territory as we get down almost to 4 minutes to go in this ball game.
Yeah, and it does feel like that. And that's the question is, are you going to stay on the ground and kind of let Brown guys, methodical 3, 4, 5 yards of carry, or are you going to try to put this in the air knowing, hey, an incompletion can make this put you in a weird situation.
And mark it at the 43, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 5. Beavers with one wide out to the left. Baker is going to set up close. They're going to turn. They're going to hand it to Brown. He's looking ahead. He's not going to get past the 45, though, and that's going to set up a 4th down and 3 yards to go with 3:50 to go in this ballgame.
Yeah, now you have a decision to make here. You need this first down. Do you trust Brown to get you these 3 yards, knowing that the Vikings are probably going to be stacking the box here and either A, bring in pressure, or B, try to stop this run at all costs?
Brown coming out, Wallace coming in. Now, you just threw the quick out to Baker and got a nice gain a couple of plays ago. Is that what you're going to think of doing? They're going to send Baker to the left side, the same side as Jaden Anderson. As we go 4th and 3 on the 45, Vikings, looks like they might be bringing some pressure here. Let's see if they're going to bring an extra guy here, thrown across, and it's off the hands of the Beavers, and it'll be turnover on downs to the Vikings. The slant play was to Baker, a little bit behind him off his hands, and now the Vikings have 3:14 to go to try to close this one out.
That was a good job by the Vikings defense, bringing that pressure, making Harris a little uncomfortable. They know he's a young guy, know he's a little inexperienced. Good job kind of forcing him to make a play and, kind of heating that seat up on him.
We've had a lot of balls go off hands today, and not saying who's at fault. Probably both play. Obviously, a couple of them were off target, a couple of them were dropped, but something that the Beavers will have to clean up. Again, remember, it's only the second game of the season. But the Vikings about 3 minutes away, 3:14 away from pulling a very big upset here against the state's number 3 ranked team. The Vikings 0-1 coming in after being beaten by Fresno. Fake handoff. There goes Boros, and he's just going to go straight down to the ground. Let's see if the Beavers start calling one of their 3 timeouts. It's a 1-yard gain for the quarterback, Boros.
Good job by Boros, recognizing the pressure from Trayvon Robinson there and cutting upfield and turning that into a gain.
Beavers do not call a timeout, so it's 2nd down and 9 yards to go.
It's important to note there is the 2-minute warning now in college.
Oh, that's right. It's not a warning, though. It's a 2-minute timeout or something.
I don't. ESPN, please do not come after me.
I would think that ideally they'd get a short gain or something right here, call a timeout, and then have another play, and then you'd have your 2-minute timeout.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. The Beavers showing some pressure, turn on a handoff straight up the middle, and they're going to shut that down right away. Actually, pretty good fight there. I think that's Wade there. He got it down to the 42-yard line, so a good run by Jason Wade. He'll set up a 3rd down and about 6 yards to go.
And now this is another interesting one. AR's got all the timeouts, and we have the 2-minute timeout coming up. What do you do here if you're the Vikings? Do you put the ball in the air and risk an incompletion, giving them kind of a free clock stoppage? Or do you just keep this on the ground and try to pin him deep with a punt?
Or you just put the ball in Boris's hands, who's done pretty effectively rolling it out lately and making a decision. Now we have the 2-minute timeout. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout as well. Actually, it's officially the 1:59 timeout, and we will take that timeout. We have 1:59 to go in this one. Vikings 28, Beavers 21.
Hi, I'm Monica from Ace Body Shop in Telling. We are a family-oriented business. We've been in business for over 30 years. We are located downtown Lincoln at 333 Lincoln Boulevard in Lincoln, California. We do automotive repair and 24-hour towing. Our phone number is 916-645-2859, or you can find us on the web.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
So the 2-minute timeout implemented in college football and implemented in community college football sets us up 3rd and 6 ball on the 41. Vikings with Boros in the shotgun. They're going to turn around. They're going to hand it off right there to Wade, and he's going to be stacked up by 3. He's got a great job of keeping it going, though, and he'll get him to the 40-yard line. And Jordan now has a timeout for the Beavers here, I would imagine, at 1:54. If you're going to go ahead and bring your punter on. I thought maybe for a second you might try to go for it, but you don't want to give the Beavers a short field. And Jacob Johnson, who is your punter, has been doing a great job pinning the Beavers back.
Yeah, I agree. I think you need to punt this one away. I think if you were a yard or two closer, the conversation can be had about going for it and just kind of imposing your will on the team. But at this point, with your defense making plays the way they have been, I think you need to punt this ball away.
And you're a team who's coming in as a decided underdog, okay? So you're in a position that you didn't think you'd be in. You don't want to make a play that's going to kind of turn that over, because if it doesn't work, if it works, it's great. If it doesn't work, all of a sudden it's a 60-yard field for the Beavers to come down and try to tie it. And they have been moving the ball on the Vikings defense, although the defense come out 14 points for the Beavers in the first half, just 7 so far, and that was that big Brown run, 81 yards. And so except for that, the Vikings defense has been excellent. All the more reason you go ahead and punt this ball with Jacob Johnson. So here comes the punt team, and we have remarked a couple of times, Jordan, special team-wise, their coverage has been excellent, and that's got to also work to their advantage. Number 21, that's Isaiah Bickham. He goes back to receive the punt. He's out of Whitney High School, and he has shown an affinity for trying to return any kind of punt. Let's see what Johnson does with it. Let's apply. He's going to kick. He's going to shank that one. That's going to be a little up in the air and out of bounds over toward around the 10-yard. Let's see where it's marked. And we're going to have a flag on the play as well. Let's see what the call is there. As the punt went out of bounds, I think they're going to mark it about the 15-yard line, which, even though it wasn't a good-looking punt, would be a pretty good result for the Vikings. Even though it's only basically a gain of 25, it puts the Beavers inside the 20. But we've got conversation from the referees here.
I think an initial signal tells me this might have been on the Vikings, but
that's what I thought as well. So we had a delay of game. So if it's a delay of game, then the play should not have happened.
No,
so
it was a second sideline infraction.
Oh,
so
I
think
see.
It was
Okay.
So 5-yard penalty.
So a 5-yard penalty, which will put it at the 20, which still is a good position for the Vikings. So they got some weird rules here, is what they got. Beavers with it. 1:48 to go. Harris is going to throw. He rolls to his right. He's got an open receiver, and the completion is made to number 19. That's Nick Ekaterinas.
Another Oak Ridge receiver there.
Well, and again, that's that little 6-yard hitch right there, Jordan, that they could have used earlier. And they were going to have a whistle on the play and a flag, and not something you want for the Beavers. They got 6 yards on the first, and you're going to have a false start penalty. 79 is the culprit, and it'll put the Beavers back 5 yards, set up a second down and 9 yards to go. 1:27 to go in this one. And you see, I know that some of the players are the same, Dorm. You see a lot of growing pains.
You do see
in the Beavers today, yeah.
And I mean, a lot of these wounds today are self-inflicted.
Yeah.
You know, this is a game that feels like they controlled that first half and should have been up by more at halftime. And, you know, they kind of allowed a team to hang around. And
so a 10-second runoff will take the clock down to 1:17. The referee better pick up his flag down there. There he goes. There he goes. So, hey, that's my flag.
He could be anticipating a penalty on the
Maybe
next
he's just going to, I'll let it ride, like you at the casinos.
Yeah.
So 1:17 to go. We're at second down. Have to get to the 30. Harris going to dash it off to number 0. That's Brown, who's looking for an opening, cuts it back, and he's dropped at about the 30. That should get the Beavers a first down, though. And let's see, they have 2 timeouts remaining. Let's see if they're not using one right here. They're going to try to set up quickly, and that's what cost them last time with the false start. Come down right around 1 minute to go in this one. Harris with the snap. He looks to his right. He quickly gets it out, and I think the catch is made by number 85. That is
Fear on the catch.
Dylan Fear, but he's going to have a very short gain. It's going to necessitate a timeout for the Beavers.
You know, these quick plays, I know they're kind of eating away a little bit, but you need one of these chunk plays. I mean, you don't even need, 30, 40 yards at a time, but you need something to get you 10, 15, 20 yards down the field. I mean, these quick plays are nice, but they're eating a little too much time, and I feel like they're kind of, in order to turn it into a big play, it's going to require too much time off the clock.
Yeah, if it was 1 minute 52, perhaps you can go ahead and take a little bit of time and take a dump off, which is what they've taken. And they've been successful with the dump offs and the quick passes so far. If you can get out of bounds and get it to the wide receiver on the sidelines, okay. But that play, Fear was still in the field of play, and he was wrapped up almost immediately, and you had to use one of your timeouts, and the Beavers now just one timeout left.
And I think if you're DVC, you're saying, you're in this huddle right now, you're saying give them anything underneath.
Yeah.
You know, anything
Yeah.
within 5-10 yards, they can have that and let them kind of eat themselves into a clock situation.
Yeah, I want to see maybe how deep their defensive backs are playing. It looks like at about the 45, so they're 15 yards down the field. I would almost think they're going to be further than that. Let's see if they try to bring pressure to make Harris get rid of it before he wants to. Harris looks around. He's got throw, and it's caught out there, but a great hit by the Vikings to separate the receiver from the ball, and it is incomplete.
That was Charles Cox with the hit right there, the sophomore out of Clayton Valley High School. And it looked like that's exactly what the Beavers needed, 15-yard chunk play to Anderson, and Cox just slams the door shut on that one.
Yeah, they kind of set him up. They had two guys waiting for him, and he kind of went through. It was a well-thrown ball, but just a fine defensive play by Cox. And it sets up the 3rd down and 9 yards to go on the 32 with just 48 seconds left to go in this one. And you got to wonder when the Vikings are going to decide to dial that pressure up again. That time Harris had a lot of time to throw. He's got time again. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man over the middle. It's caught. Coming out to the 50, down to the 47-yard line. That's a new face, number 11. That is Xavier Porter out of Pleasant Grove, and he catches a first down, and we've got a player for the Vikings taking his time getting back with 37 seconds to go. And now the whistle's blowing. I think we might have, let's see if we have a timeout.
I think we might have a
So a timeout called by Diablo Valley. Yeah, they just want to make sure they get their ducks in a row. 34 seconds. You want to be caught unaware. That was a really fine pass by Harris to the newcomer Porter across the middle. And a big gain, and that's one of those chunk plays, Jordan, you're talking about. Now, again, just 34 seconds, so the chunks need to get a little bit bigger, but that's kind of something that the Beavers really needed.
Yeah, they definitely did. And I think right now the biggest key, especially with 34 seconds left, one timeout, you need to put yourself in a position that on your last attempt, you can make a shot at the end zone. You got to kind of be aiming for like that 30-yard line right now. I mean, obviously you want to be scoring beforehand.
Right.
But, if worse comes to worse, you need to find yourself in a position that you can have the arm to get it to the end zone.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. That time, Harris had a lot of time to pass. He's had that in the last 2 or 3 times, so you're wondering, the Vikings have dialed up the pressure a little bit earlier in the half. Let's see if they want to do that again with 34 seconds to go. A 1st and 10, the ball on the Diablo Valley 47. Beavers with 2 out to the left, 1 out to the right. Just 4 on the front line for the Vikings. Are going to bring all 4. Look out for Harris. He's going to go down the middle. He's got room. The 45 at the 40. He's going to get out of bounds right about the 35-yard line. And Jordan, that's what you need to do, get a chunk play and stop the clock.
Exactly. That was the perfect read there by Harris. I mean, didn't eat up too much time, kind of made his decision quick, got out of bounds quick, didn't try to fight for any extra yards or anything like that. Great play there by him.
First down, ball at the 35-yard line, just outside the 35. Beavers with a 1st and 10. Mario Williams is the wide receiver out here to the right alongside Anderson. First down. Vikings again sitting back. Now they're going to bring some pressure off the left side. Harris is going to appear. He's got time. Rolls right. He's going to throw it deep and out of bounds over the head of Williams at about the 15-yard line. So they did bring a little pressure there from the right side, Jordan. Good pickup by the Beavers, but still made Harris throw, I think, before he wanted to.
Yeah, I think a little before he wanted to. Good coverage downfield and a good job kind of taking away the scramble. And, good job by Harris there to kind of recognize when to just throw that ball away, save some time, and, again, try to get these yards on another play.
Yeah, 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 35. Beavers getting the play from the sidelines. Looks like Luis Torres is in the game, along with Baker on the right side, Anderson on the left side. Torres in the slot. One back there, probably for protection for Jet Harris, as the Vikings again showing that they're going to bring somebody, and we've got a whistle on the play. That's going to be a delay of game. It's a 5-yard penalty, and now we're down to 9 seconds to go in the game. So at most we have 2 plays, and that kind of doesn't take them out, Jordan. But like you're saying, it's tougher to get to the end zone when you move yourself back 5 yards.
Yeah, I think so. And it looks like the clock's actually moved to 18. So I think there was
at least a second in the air.
I think there was a little bit of a runoff or something.
Yeah,
there.
I think so. An unofficial one. Beavers come back up to it. Still second down. Now 15 yards to go. They need to get to 25 for a first down, which is really not the utmost thing. Here comes more pressure. Harris throws it deep to the sideline, and Baker is going to step out of bounds at the 32. A long time in the air, only got a couple yards, but did stop the clock and get you back into that zone, doesn't it, Jordan?
Yeah, it gets you back in that, we know Harris has the arm to get us to the end zone there. And I think that was kind of the goal of that play.
So that'll make it third down. About 9 yards to go, it looks like. 17 seconds to go. Be nice to get a first down and stop the clock to give them that choice, but of course, don't know how many plays are going to be able to get into the 17 seconds. Harris, they've been sending an extra linebacker the last 2 plays. Beavers have done a good job picking it up. But Harris has to look around and find out where everybody is. He's got some time he's going to throw. He's got a guy wide open on the left side. That's Anderson, and he steps out of bounds right about the 15-yard line. That is a big play right there. And Anderson, I'm a little surprised the Vikings left him open like that.
Yeah, you could not let that happen because now we're sitting here. This is very conceivable a score here. 12 seconds. You probably have room for 3 plays right here. You still have a timeout in your pocket, and you're trying to go 12 yards now in this amount of time.
That was a very, very good. That's your big chunk play right there. But again, I'm surprised Anderson, not that they let him alone on purpose. I was surprised he was able to find that area. And again, good protection, especially by the back, to help Harris have enough time to let that one go. So the field gets a little smaller now. We're down at about the 16, first down and 10 yards to go, 12 seconds to go in this one. Harris goes back, looks to his right. He's going to let one fly. It's caught out here, and stepping out of bounds at the 10-yard line is Williams. I think that's Marion's first catch of the day. So he's out at let's mark it at the 9. We've got 8 seconds to go. So to your point, Jordan, I think maybe 2 more plays.
I know you're giving them the underneath, but at this point, I think you got to stop doing that and start getting back to this press coverage and start bringing a little more pressure now. You've let them move down the field. Now they're here. You got to make your stand.
Beavers sending 3 out to the left side. Anderson out there, Williams out there, and I think that's Correa out there as well. Gavin Correa, the tight end. He's got one to the right as Omri Baker. Maybe they're trying to get one-on-one if they can. Let's see, with 8 seconds to go. Harris back. He looks left. There's a slant coming. The reverse slant caught at the 4-yard line. And with 1 second to go, we've got a timeout, and we're going to go down literally to the last second of the first game of the season, Jordan. They ran one guy through, ran the second guy through, which was Correa, hit him, but good defensive play by the Vikings. They stop him 4 yards short, and that's where we are with the last second to go.
And people here are getting their money's worth out of this one.
Absolutely.
What a drive the Beavers have put together here. And, I think no matter what the result of this is, if you're Osterhout, you've got to kind of tip your hat to the offense for rising to the occasion here and moving this ball down the field when the deck was kind of stacked against him.
Interesting to see what play they dial up here. Ball on the 4-yard line. And as we said, not as much room. It's easier to move down the field and get those chunk plays when there's a lot of room. Now they've got 11 defensive players in this 15-yard area, so it's a lot tougher. But let's see if they try to get Harris on the move. His protection has been excellent this last drive. When they had to protect him, 1 sack would have put them out of it, and they've been able to go ahead and put the extra protection in, and now they've got to give him some time. Let's see if they keep him on the spot or they try to roll him out.
And I think you kind of try to roll him out. He's shown that he can make plays with his legs a little bit. The only thing I don't love about rolling out is you're shrinking an already small field. But
exactly.
At the same time, when you have an athletic enough guy, maybe give him that option to run it in 4 yards if he needs to.
All right, last play of the game, 1 second to go. Vikings 28, Beavers 21. Williams comes off the field, but he's not really off the field. Very tricky, and then we're going to have a stoppage of play here as Williams made like he was coming off the field. He was not. He stayed there. And the Vikings, I think, have called their timeout, even though the second went off the clock. I think that's unofficial. And a little trickery there by the Beavers. Almost pulled it off, but the Vikings woke up.
Almost pulled it off, and head coach Jimmy Collins, we thought Elias Brown turned on the burners. He was sprinting down that sideline trying to get that timeout, and it did look like Saphir Stills Bay kind of recognized it. Who knows if he would have gotten there in time, but that could have been a huge disaster for the Vikings if he didn't get that timeout off.
Collins, as you say, the head coach for Diablo Valley, who have to be, I know it depends on the outcome, but they have to be incredibly pleased, not only with where they are right now, but where they are in relation to how this game started and coming off last week when they were beaten pretty well by Fresno.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's crazy when we really look at this game. I mean, it feels like there was really only a 10, 15-minute window in that third quarter where the Vikings took over, but they were so dominant during that stretch that it might be enough to will them to a win here.
And they came up with the big play. You mentioned Sevier Stills Bay, the interception return for the touchdown, which is the margin of, well, it could be margin of victory, but it's what put the Vikings ahead, 28-21. Here we go. 1 second to go. Beavers a tight formation. They got a single receiver out to the left. Running back next to Harris. He's going to go back. He's going to look for the running back. He can't find anybody. He lets it go across the middle, and it is knocked down. It is deflected and picked off by the Vikings, and they're going to walk out of Beaver Stadium with a huge win. Final score in this one. The Vikings from Diablo Valley, 28, the American River College Beavers, 21.
That is a huge upset in the JUCO ranks. Rourke Hoban with the interception. I believe he's the one that had the strip sack to start the game. So forces a turnover to start the game, gets a turnover to end it. Have a day, young man, Rourke Hoban.
And that's got to be the ultimate depression for the Beavers. They went all the way down on the brink. It looks like they had a guy open in the end zone, and the deflection, the interception, and the Vikings win this one 28-21. We're going to step aside for just a second, come back with a little post game right here. Again, our final score, Diablo Valley 28, American River 21.
Oh, I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Placer County's best-kept secret is back for another exciting summer at historic McBean Stadiums. Loaded with fun for the whole family, local beer, wine, and eats. Fireworks, giveaways, theme nights, kids zone, and more. Come join in the fun and enjoy small-town baseball with Major League Entertainment. Tickets on sale now at LincolnPotters.com.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We'd love to see you.
Welcome into the postgame show, sponsored in part by Ace Body and Towing.
Welcome back to Beaver Stadium. Mark the Phantom Low here with Jordan Georgeson. Exciting ending to the game, Jordan. I was getting ready for maybe overtime or something. The ball bounces off the Beaver receiver in the end zone, bounces right back to the Vikings. They get the interception. They deserve to win. Give them all the credit in the world. Beavers come up short. Had a great drive at the end of the game. Falls just a little bit short, and they drop this one to fall to 1-1.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's going to be a tough pill to swallow for Beaver fans here. And right now, if you're Diablo Valley, I mean, you're not even thinking about that Fresno game last week. This is a huge win. You just went on the road and beat the number 3 team in the state in their house. And, if you're the Beavers, this is a little bit of a gut check for you. And, if you're Coach O, I think you're kind of talking to the team right now of, hey, we're going to find out what we're made of this week now with Fresno coming in.
Exactly. You got Fresno coming in, and as you pointed out earlier, you got College of San Mateo on the road after that. So you got 2 tough weeks coming up. They showed a lot today, but obviously we give the Vikings credit. They've got the big interception return by Sevier Stills Bay to win this one. They also had Boris DePiero for 2 touchdowns, and Boris with a 1-yard touchdown run. The Beavers with 2 touchdowns for Elias Brown and 1 Jet Harris quarterback keeper. They took the 14-0 lead. Right before halftime, the Vikings offense, which looked like it was moribund, as we say, came up with a big play and set up a touchdown by Boros to make it 14-6. They missed the extra point. Then they come out in the third quarter, and really, David Piero showed up. He did not play, as far as we could tell, in the first half. He made 2 huge receptions. He made more than 2 huge receptions. He changed the complexion of this game from the wide receiver position, and he gave his quarterback confidence, which I think, Jordan, gave the offensive line confidence.
I agree, and I think, when you look back and when you're AR, you're going to look back and watch film of this game.
Yeah.
I think the coaches are going to find that AR was the more dominant team for 40 minutes of this game, but there was a 20-minute stretch where Diablo Valley just was marching down the field, and AR just didn't have an answer for them. And, that stretch was big enough to will the team to a win. A couple unlucky bounces and, great plays by the Vikings. And all of a sudden they find themselves on the losing end. But, Piero really came in, and there was about 3 or 4 drives. He still made his plays later in the game.
Yep.
But it felt like 3 or 4 drives, the Beavers just had zero answer for him. They were able to slow him down later. But, when they had zero answer for him, he just took this game over and flipped it on its head. I mean, 21 points essentially pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
And it changed the whole complexion of this game. It sucked all the life out of AR sideline.
And we talked about this a little bit earlier about all the balls that went off the hands of Beavers receivers. And when you think about it, the touchdown return by Stills Bay was off a deflection. And also in the last play, it came off the Beavers receiver and was pulled down by the Vikings again. So a couple of interceptions, both off the hands of Beavers receivers. And so that's something, obviously, you're not there trying to do that. You're not, you just go, you got to hold on to the ball, but it's doing it at the moment when it really counts and making that play, and that's what you got to do. And that, I think some guys, it's kind of a lesson you can learn today.
I agree, and obviously this one's going to sting when you
absolutely
feel like you were the better team, you were the higher ranked team. You're going to take a shot in the rankings, all that stuff that comes with getting upset. But if you're the Beavers, I think you still look at this going, we're 1-1. We have a good Fresno City team coming in next week that we can beat. And then you go on the road, you're playing San Mateo, and a win there, and all of a sudden you're looking 3-1. And I don't even think you remember this Diablo Valley game.
The one thing that I think could be a lingering reminder of this is Diallo Washington went down in this game, and I did not see if he had come back in. I did not get any word on Diallo Washington. So he is a key component in the Beavers' defense, and so hopefully he'll be able to come back and play with them the rest of the season. Jordan, it was an exciting game to say the least. One team had the momentum, the other team had the momentum. We had big plays. Elias Brown, the 81-yard touchdown run, would have definitely been the play of the game, although maybe since the Vikings win, they would get the honor of having to play a game. But Brown with that touchdown run, it was 21-14. The Beavers were the ones who looked like they were kind of sleeping a little bit, and all of a sudden he pulls off that run and the game changes, and then the Vikings come out and they win it. So all credit to the Vikings. The Beavers put up a big fight, but the Vikings are the winner 28-21. Jordan, thanks a lot for hanging out. Let's do this again next week at 1 o'clock when Fresno comes to town to take on the American River College Beavers.
All right, I think I'll be free. I'll try to make it.
All right, thanks very much, Mark the Phantom Low, for Jordan Georgeson, for Riley the Engineer, and Stones McCoy, the man himself. We say thank you for watching. Final score, Diablo Valley 28, American River College 21. We'll see you next week.